Hello friends. This is Bones Fiction. How are you all? So in this video, we will see, what if Naruto had the Sage of Chaos in the Bleach world? But before we start, if you want more amazing stuff like this, then be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Also if possible share this video with your friends. Now without wasting any more time, let's begin the story. Prologue, fate was never really fair to me from the beginning. As I grew up I was tortured and hated by the villagers from my village for something I never had any control over. That part that I had no control over was a nine-tailed demon fox with unimaginable power sealed inside my body, that was feared across the land as a being of complete hatred and destruction, and because of this demon inside of me for the first 12 years of my life I lived a lonely life with no parents, no friends, no one to care for me. But I didn't give up hope. I kept on walking forward and kept hoping to find someone that would accept me, that would care for me, that would be my true friend. And one day when I least expected it I found someone who truly cared for me and recognized me. He was my teacher and friend Iruka-sensei. Soon I was kept getting surprised more and more as I made true friends and people that cared for me and that I had sworn on my life that I would protect them from anything that would seek to harm them. And I actually started to believe that life wasn't so bad, but soon, only a few years later, my life was destroyed when a madman in a quest for world domination started attacking my village. He killed many people and shook the foundations of the land I was from. He waged war across the land in order to capture me and take the demon fox inside of me, and because of that he started killing, destroying everything. He killed the people who were the most precious to me and set his sights on me and finally achieved it. Now that Kurama isn't with me anymore, I don't think I can fight Madara anymore. I don't have the power to do anything, and now that I'm drawing my last breaths I can't help but hate myself for being this powerless. How could I let this happen? Naruto, come on, you're gonna be okay. Come on, you can get through this. Come on, you can't die yet. Tears falling down a pink-haired girl's face, her green emerald eyes filled with tears as she cries at the chest of a blonde young man whose breathing had stopped and the warmth in his chest getting cold. The light in his blue cerulean eyes slowly fading away. The only thoughts that was on her mind was, Naruto, I know that I wasn't very useful to you or Sasuke ever since we started out as Team 7 and I only depended on you for everything, but this time it's different. I won't let you die here. I'll save no matter what the price. The pink-haired girl's hands started glow white with energy as she placed them on the blonde's chest. She could feel the pain this jutsu was casing her. It was an unimaginable pain, but she had to endure if it was to bring the blonde back from the realm of the dead. She had to. She was the only one who could do it. Pant. Pant, pant, just a little long at Naruto's mindscape. Naruto was in a white space, floating in the air. As he tried to see his surroundings he saw nothing. Ever he looked he only saw white space. Same as Gaara when he was dead. Look it up on YouTube. Am I dead? Is this heaven? No, it's not yet your time, young man. Who's there? Where are you? Those two questions I cannot answer, but I can tell you this, that you are dead yet you are not dead. What do you mean? I thought I died when Kurama was taken out of me. The voice chuckled. It is very rare when one dies yet they do not. Yours is a great destiny, one that stops you from dying today. I don't believe in destiny and fate. The voice chuckled once more. So says the child of prophecy. Tell me, boy, what would you do if you were brought to life once again? I'll stop that bastard Madara and his stupid plan once and for all. What makes you so sure that you can do that, boy? Did you get stronger when the Kyuubi was taken out of you? Naruto was left frozen in shock as the memories of the recent events came to him once again. Looks like you remembered, boy. Now tell me how you do that. I'll find a way. No matter what, I'll find a way to stop him. Then would you like a little help in your quest to stop Madara and his plan? Naruto paused for a second so he could think over the offer the mysterious voice had offered and quickly came to answer. Why would you help me? The chuckled evilly, then answered in an amused voice. Let's just say that it's my job to watch over the realms of the living, and the Jubi is far too strong a demon to be let loose in the realm of the living. As for your next question that you're going to ask, then I offer you one solution. What? You must seal the Jubi inside your body and keep him at bay. What's wrong, boy? Do you not want to save your people from the demon Jubi? Okay, how do I do it? Good, very well.
When you awake once more you will have a seal on your left hand that will be the key that will seal the Jubi, and all you have to do is touch the Jubi's eyes middle Sharingan Tomoe.
That's all? That sounds too easy. Is this some sick joke? The laughed loudly at the boy's paranoia, but he couldn't blame him because who would believe a mysterious voice in white space in the first place? The reason as to why it is simple is because so that you would have a better chance of sealing the Jubi. If you can even oppose the Jubi for a few seconds it would be considered a miracle. The Jubi is not some weak demon. It is king of all the demons and has powers only few can dare oppose. No mortal being can hope to oppose the Jubi as it is an entity beyond the realm of mortals. The voice said in a serious tone. If it's so strong, how can I seal it in me? Wouldn't it kill me if I tried to seal it in me? Naruto asked. That is true, but you are no ordinary being, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, and when you seal the Jubi you will no longer be just a mortal.
What do you mean? That I cannot answer and time is running out. Now you must choose, Naruto Namikaze. Will you seal the Jubi and stop its wrath before it destroys all living things in this realm?
I will. Believe it. Then this is where we part ways. I expect to hear great things about you. A bright light flashes and Naruto closes his eyes so that the bright light doesn't blind him. In a dark watery cave in forest, Naruto blinks his eyes a few times before he tries to get up but feels a weight on his chest. When he lowers his head he sees a pink-haired girl who wasn't moving, but he could feel her heart, but it was weak. He could feel it getting slower. Saw Sakura-chan. Naruto slowly tries to move Sakura off his chest so he could see as to what had happened to the girl, but what he saw froze him in fear and shock. As he now saw Sakura with blood dripping from her mouth and breathing very weakly in exhaustion and pain. Pant. Nah. Ruto, Sakura-chan, what happened to you? Who did this? Pant. Look slick. I was able to bring you back. Naruto was shocked as he heard her words, as he remembered the one way to bring back the dead was reanimation jutsu. I can't believe you remember that jutsu. Yeah, I used it to bring you back. Tears started to come down Naruto's face as he saw his friend and childhood crush slowly dying from using a jutsu to bring him back to life. He started to hate himself at that moment, as because of him another one of his friends was dying in front of him and it was his fault, his weakness. If he hadn't been captured and killed she wouldn't have had to sacrifice herself. He still had so much to tell her, so much he wanted to do with her, but he couldn't anymore. She was dying. Sakura-chan, please, you can't die. Please, I can't take it another one of my friends to die like this. Naruto pleaded as tears kept on going down his face. Sorry Naruto, you should understand that, I can't. But, pant. Naruto, I'm glad I made a friend like you, and I want you to know that no matter what, you're a great person and not a monster. Naruto couldn't say anything and closed his eyes so he could stop his tears, but then his eyes went wide open as a soft hand was placed as his cheek. You deserve to be happy. Saw Sakura-chan. Sakura's hand fell cold and dropped from his cheek as her green emerald eyes went dark and started to close slowly, and a small smile forming on her face. Naruto couldn't believe what had just happened again. Someone dear to him just died and he couldn't do anything. Sakura. Naruto screamed at the top of his lungs as his anger passed its limit. Now the only thing that was left on his mind was his hatred towards the person that caused him this suffering and pain, and the only thing Naruto wanted the most in the world right now was to crush the man's skull under his feet. Now at that his decision was made and his rage fueling him, he knew what he had to do. I swear, Sakura, that I will bring an end to this even if it kills me. 1 month later. At a barren and desolate field where the sky was full of dark clouds as it rained and thundered, there was nothing but a cool breeze and rain falling down in the field. This was the field that was chosen as the last battlefield between Naruto and Madara. Naruto walked to Madara's direction at a steady pace. He was determined to end this. After so much training and pain he was ready to finish everything. This time it was going to be different. This time he had changed. After almost 2 years of war and the loss of his loved ones, he had changed. He had seen and experienced things that no one his age had. He had had enough. As he was walking towards Madara he had changed, and so did his appearance. He was now wearing black Anbu boots, Anbu pants, Anbu gauntlets, black fingerless gloves with metal plates on the back, and a dark blue shirt, and on top of it he wore an Anbu vest, and he wore a white mask to cover half his face, like Kakashi mask except Naruto's is white, his sage coat, and on his back his scroll.
Naruto was now facing Madara, who had a maniacal smile on his, and behind him what Naruto saw at all was the 10-tailed Jubi, a giant monster even bigger than Gamabunta, with a body similar to the Kyuubi but with black skin, its head similar to that of a wolf, 2 horns pointing forward from its head like a devil, and its eyes were like the Sharingan but had 10 tomoe red dots than 3. And it was looking at Naruto like a predator does at its prey.
Well, Naruto, looks like you made it in time. I was wondering if you had run away. I'm glad I was wrong. Now you can be the first whom my Jubi can kill. Be grateful for this honor, as I awoke the Jubi not too long ago, and now you would be the first man to witness my new power. Madara then started to laugh manically. Naruto grit his teeth and clenched his fists. What's wrong, cat? Got your tongue? Madara said, mocking Naruto. You want take over this world? You're a madman who's killed too many people and caused so much suffering. I will never allow you to take over this world. I'll stop you here and seal the Jubi. Oh, and how do you plan on doing that? Sealing the Jubi is impossible, kid. Give and let the Jubi crush you. Tell me, Madara, how do you plan on controlling the Jubi? You really are an idiot, aren't you, kid? With the Rinnegan and Sharingan in my possession, I now have the same eyes as the Rakudo Sennin, and now I can control the Jubi and bend it to my will. If that's true, Madara, then why didn't the Rakudo Sennin do the same as you and just control the Jubi? He wouldn't have had to break the Jubi into smaller parts and thus shorten his lifespan and die? What are y'all yapping about, kid? Or has the fear of Jubi's power gone and made you crazy?
Then let me tell you the reason why the Rakudo Sennin couldn't control the Jubi is because it can't be controlled by mortals. No matter how strong or gifted, the Jubi can't be controlled, and the best Rakudo Sennin could do was break the Jubi into smaller parts.
Madara, once hearing this, went crazy, and not believing Naruto's words, started to laugh again. You really have gone crazy, kid, but can't blame you since you lost everyone you ever cared for, but I might as well show you some mercy and finish you off quick. Jubi, kill that brat. Then, as commanded, Jubi started to gather demonic energy on top of its head, and the demonic chakra took the shape of red and black colored giant sphere, and once it was complete, the Jubi aided and took its aim before it could fire at Madara.
He instantly noticed this and jumped out of the way, but his right arm was caught in the explosion and ripped completely off. Madara screamed in pain, and as the rest of the demonic blast from the Jubi mouth hit a far-away mountain, it instantly destroyed it and leaving a crater twice the size of Konoha.
What happened? Jubi, I commanded you to fire at the boy, not me. The Jubi, not listening to Madara, roared in anger as its tails lashed at him, and one of the tails hitting Madara, sending him meters away. Naruto, seeing this, knew what he had to do before the Jubi could get near any populated area. Then the Jubi, noticing Naruto, lashed its tails at him, but Naruto didn't move, and before the tails could hit him, they stopped in their tracks as the Jubi tried to push its tails downward to crush Naruto. It couldn't, an invisible force was stopping it. As the Jubi moved its tails away from Naruto, the monster then saw Naruto was standing there with 2 of his hands upwards, and his eyes were now different as they now had changed, and instead of its blue cerulean color there were now gray ripple patterns on Naruto's eyes. True Rinnegan, Naruto said as he then pointed his hands then towards the Jubi. Demonic statue chains. As Naruto said this, chains came out Naruto back and started to shine brightly and entangle the Jubi. As the Jubi tried to get free, it kept on roaring in anger and blasting off in different direction. Hold still, I can't seal you if you move like that, damn it. As Naruto tried to struggle in order to hold the Jubi and try to seal it, Madara quickly recovered and sprinted to their direction. Damn it, I need to find a way to hold this monster and seal it before that bastard Madara comes back. He was caught off guard and the Jubi did some damage on him, but that bastard won't stay down for long. Damn it, need to think of something quick. Just then Madara appeared near Naruto while the damage done to him was clearly visible. Uzumaki, how dare you ruin my plans? This is all your fault, now prepare to die. Madara shouted in complete rage as he proceeded to shunsen near Naruto and punch him in the gut, making Naruto lose focus and force him to break his jutsu. Naruto quickly backed away from Madara and making distance between them. But Madara in rage didn't slow down as he quickly made hand signs and used fire style. Great Fire Dragon Jutsu. Naruto was hit with the great fireball in the shape of dragon that came roaring at him, and he was engulfed in it, but when the fire cleared, Naruto was nowhere to be seen. Madara, quickly noticing this, tried to locate Naruto. Just then Naruto instantly appeared behind Madara's back in a puff of smoke and tried to kick him in the head, but before he could do that, he and Madara were both forced to move as another giant blast of demonic chakra nearly killed them. Just then, as Madara was in a safe area, he tried to locate Naruto but couldn't. Then the next thing he saw shocked him, as he saw Naruto was flying towards the Jubi in amazing speed and dodging any blasts in his way. As Madara saw this, he quickly remembered Naruto saying about sealing the Jubi. If Naruto had acquired the Rinnegan, then there was a possibility that he could seal the Jubi, and Madara didn't want to take that risk. Naruto appeared near the Jubi and landed on its head and quickly stuck to the monster's head by applying chakra to his feet.
Now time to end this. The deaths of my friends Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, Gaara, Tsunade, Jiraiya, Hinata, Nagato, everyone, your deaths won't be in vain. I will seal this monster and bring peace back to this land.
Naruto then placed his left hand with the special seal on it and placed it on the Jubi's head and called out, "Heaven's forsaken seal."
The instant Naruto said this, a bright yellow light engulfed the Jubi while golden chains came from the ground and chained the Jubi, and slowly the marks on Naruto's hand started to grow, and the more the marks on Naruto's hand grew, the more Jubi was being sucked inside his arm. Seeing this, Madara had no choice but to use his Mangekyo Sharingan power of Kamui and got himself near Naruto, who was in the process of sealing the Jubi inside himself.
Not having a choice, Madara was forced to nullify the seal by sending it to his pocket dimension. Just as Madara was used his Kamui on the seal, a huge black sphere covered the area they were in and sent them into darkness. Just as they were moving through the darkness, they saw lights passing them, and suddenly out of nowhere Madara and Naruto started to feel unbearable pain that was tearing them apart. Damn that brat, because of him we're stuck in this stupid situation. If only I didn't use my Kamui. Arg, this pain is killing me. If I don't find a way to get out of here, I might die. Come on Naruto, think you've got to get yourself out of this mess. Wait, the Jubi, why isn't it making any noise? Doesn't it feel any pain? Or no, it couldn't be that this dimension thing doesn't affect it. If I'm gonna survive this, I have to seal the Jubi inside me, use its power to survive. Alright, here goes. As Naruto gave a loud roar, he started to pull the Jubi inside the seal faster. Not wanting to die, he gave it his all. Just as more of the Jubi was being sealed inside Naruto, the seal on his arm eventually reached to his torso and covered his torso with strange spiral flame. Alright, got the Jubi. When Naruto suddenly started to lose his vision as he was fainting, the only thing he remembered was the painful screams and curses of Madara. And finally Naruto passed out. Karakura Town. On a hot afternoon of Karakura Town, on top of one of the high buildings of Karakura Town was a young man that had come through a dimensional portal and had passed out. As time went on, the young man started to gain conciseness when he woke up. His body aching from the dimension travel, he twisted his body to get some cracks out as he yawned and stood up, and as he looked around, his surroundings were different, as it wasn't a desolate land but a quaint town with lots of medium sizes and some high towers as well. But as he looked around, he understood that this place was more advanced than where he was from, and this definitely wasn't anything he had ever seen, thus decided to see the area for possible threats and possibly some food, as he was starving. As he was about to jump from the top of the building, he noticed himself in a window of the building that was adjacent to the one he was on, and as he went closer he couldn't believe what he saw. What the hell is this? As he now looked at himself, his appearance had changed. His once blonde spiky hair was now raven black with deep blood red tips on the top, and his once blue cerulean eyes were now golden yellow, and he had black flame-like tattoos on his left arm, and his hair, if possible, was even more wild. As he checked out his new appearance one more time, he looked at himself and he saw that he was a 5'10" with an athletic build with raven black and blood red tipped spiky hair on the top that defied gravity, and his eyes were golden yellow and had flame-type black tattoos on his left arm, which he knew was his seal but considered it looked cool. The only thing that hadn't changed were his good old whisker marks on his cheeks and his clothes and the scroll on his back. I guess I'm lucky I didn't turn into the Jubi itself or something. That would have made things difficult. Well, at least I haven't changed that much, and the color reminds me of Sasuke's hair. As he thought about his old friend and how girls would swoon over his looks, he wondered about if that would happen for him now that he had raven hair. Naruto shook his head and tried to forget about old memories and focus on what was important for now. Alright, time to get some info on this place and find me something to eat. Man, I hope they have ramen here. As he looked around and was about to make some shadow clones and start looking around, he stopped as he heard a monstrous roar and stopped and tried to find where it came from, and he tried to listen with his ears, which were enhanced with chakra. He found the direction he needed to head to. I don't know what I'm going to find, but it would be better I did. I might just save someone and get some info out of them, Naruto said. Nodding to himself, he decided to head to the direction of the sound. Karakura Park. As Naruto arrived to the park, what he saw was something out of a manga, as there was a huge black monster with a white mask and fighting it were two teens. One was an orange-haired boy who was wearing a shiakusho with a big Japanese-style sword which was as big as the boy's body, and the boy looked like he was 15 or 16, and the other was a black-haired boy with glasses and in a school uniform with a white shirt and gray pants, and had something of an energy boy in his left arm and was shooting energy arrows at the monster as he orange-haired boy fired off an energy wave from his sword at the monster. The monster was hit bit and there was a crack on its mask, but it still wasn't down, and they both looked like they were about to run of stamina soon. Damn, that monster is huge, but for some reason I have a feeling it's a weak monster. Well, see if I can take it down. As the monster was nearing in on the two teens, there was a deep crackling sound like birds screaming, and before the teens knew it, a masked figure jumped at the monster. Chidori. As the masked figure swooped down from the sky and cut the monster in half from the top of its head to the bottom with his lightning attack and shattering the mask. The monster gave a last roar in pain as it fell to the ground and disappeared in black smoke. The two teens were dumbfounded as this masked figure came out of nowhere and finished off the hollow with a single hit and looked cool compared how they were handling it. The brunette turned towards them, his mask covering his face. He looked the Ichigo in the eye and gave him a wave and said, "Hi there, nice day to kill monsters, huh?" The two teens' sweat dropped at his weird greeting, then, who are you?" Curious as to who this new figure was. The brunette pointed at himself and said, "Me? I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze?" Chidori. As the masked figure swooped down from the sky and cut the monster in half from the top of its head to the bottom with his lightning attack and shattering the mask. The monster gave a last roar in pain as it fell to the ground and disappeared in black smoke. The two teens were dumbfounded as this masked figure came out of nowhere and finished off the hollow with a single hit and looked cool compared how they were handling it. The brunette turned towards them, his mask covering his face. He looked Ichigo in the eye and gave him a wave and said, "Hi there, nice day to kill monsters, huh?" The two teens' sweat dropped at his weird greeting, then, who are you?" Ichigo asked, curious as to who this new figure was. The brunette pointed at himself and said, "Me? I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze?" Continue. The two teens just stared dumbfounded at the new figure that had introduced himself. Just who is this guy? He just pops out of nowhere and cuts through a Manos Grande as if it were butter. And just what was that attack he used? Neither was it a Shinigami technique I know of or something similar, and it wasn't even releasing pure spiritual energy, but it was like a mixture of energies that I don't know of. But that isn't important. I need to know if this guy is an enemy or not, and judging by his last attack he isn't some pushover. We have to be careful. I doubt me and Ichigo can take this guy right now. Were Uryu thoughts as he looked and tried to analyze the newly appeared figure. Naruto, noticing Uryu's and the look he was giving him, and figured what he was trying to do, and turned to him. "Hey, looks like you're the brains of the team, I guess." "Nice to meet ya," Naruto said in a friendly manner. Uryu surprised at Naruto's words, as he just said that he was the partner of a Shinigami, the one being he hated more than hollows, and it got him angry. "Peef me working with this glasses-wearing idiot. Please, I don't even know the guy. The first just met him today and he challenges me to a hollow hunting match, to see who's better. What kinda idiot does that?" Ichigo said with a scowl on his face. "Hey. Who are you calling an idiot? You're the idiot. You can't even suppress your spiritual energy or use any type of Kido. Just what kinda Shinigami are you?" Uryu said, mocking Ichigo. "The type that can kick your ass, you bastard," Ichigo snapped back immediately. Naruto's sweat dropped at the teens' petty arguing. A Shinigami, hollow, spiritual energy, Kido. Just what are they talking about? They're also giving off a strange type of chakra, as though they only have yang energy, or maybe they don't use their yin energy. Well, whatever, I need to get answers from these guys. Hey, Naruto was cut off as Ichigo suddenly fell to the ground and his sword giving out a great amount of energy which was visible as day. "Hey, is he okay?" Naruto quickly asked. "No, he's not. Since he can't control his spiritual energy, he leaks a great amount of it all the time, but that's not the problem, since he has a large reserve of spiritual energy, and if he releases it all at the same time and combine that with his no energy control, then you get a complete flood of uncontrolled energy in his body, and could also cause him permanent damage to his body," Naruto said, understanding the situation. "How did you?" Uryu asked, surprised, but was cut off. "You don't have time for asking me questions right now. So if you know how to help him then hurry it up, Naruto said sagely. Uryu, understanding the situation, quickly nodded and went over to Ichigo and placed his foot on Ichigo's sword. As he did, his energy bow increased in size greatly and he started shooting off big arrows off into the sky. Hey, what are you doing? Ichigo said as he noticed what Uryu was doing. Shut up, Kurosaki Ichigo. I'm taking your uncontrolled spiritual energy and directing it towards the sky, Uryu said as he kept on firing arrows. But your arm is bleeding, you're tearing yourself apart, Ichigo said in a worried voice. Let me work, Kurosaki. If you end up dead then I can't kick your ass and you won't be able to do the same to me, and I'm not gonna lose a sparring partner today. Ichigo was surprised, but more was Naruto, as this reminded him a little of Sasuke and himself when they were starting out. Hey, they'll get along pretty well. I can tell that much, Naruto said in an amused voice as he kept on seeing the scene. And when it was all over and Ichigo was safe, Naruto was about to ask his questions, but before he could, Uryu fell unconscious and so was Ichigo. Naruto sighed and rubbed the back of his head and said, Man, just when I was about to ask them about this place too. Oh well, but I did get some info. Looks like the people here couldn't see that monster before or they ignored it. Either way, these guys over here have special powers and they have something different than chakra. Well, since they won't be awake for a while, might as well try to find some info from another place. Naruto turned around, walked a few steps but gave the teens a last look and then vanished in a swirl of leaves. In an area of Karakura Park overlooking the battlefield there stood a young man in traditional Japanese clothing which consisted of a green, long-sleeved jinbei, a dark green haori with white diamond patterns along the bottom, a pair of geta and a striped bucket hat, with light blonde hair and a cane in hand. He had watched the entire scene and had an amused smirk on his face. Well, looks like we have a new character joining the game. What do you think, Yoruichi? This guy, just where did he come from? I didn't even sense him till he showed himself. He finished off that Manos and with just one hit with that strange lightning attack of his. And on top of that he disappeared again. Must have used Shunpo or something, said a black cat with golden eyes in a deep manly voice. Oh, are you interested in him, Yoruichi? It's not like you to be interested in younger guys, the blonde said in a teasing voice. Shut it, Kazuki. You know that now that the Manos has killed, the Soul Society is going to look into it, and if they find him, he's gonna get in some trouble. But more importantly, Kusihiki Rukia is the one they will ask these questions from, and we know what that will lead to. So what's the plan? Yoruichi asked in a serious voice. Kazuki took out a fan from his jinbei and opened it and held it in front of his face and said in an amused voice. Well, now that he's here we might get things easier for us. It looks like he can handle himself in a fight quite well and has quite some power he's hiding. He'll be very helpful in the coming fight, but the question is, will he join us? Well, I don't know about that, but the other thing that was strange about him were his clothes. I've never seen anyone with clothes like that. Do you think he has a cosplay fetish? Yoruichi asked in playful tone. Kazuki resisted the urge to face palm and continued. Well, we don't know that either, I guess, but that's where you're taking over, Yoruichi. You're not going to ask him yourself? Kazuki chuckled. Sorry, but I'm going to be a little busy with Rukia-san, and besides it's gonna be a hassle finding him when he's hiding his spiritual energy. Well then, see ya, Kazuki said and vanished away in a shunpo. Why, you little... Yoruichi sighed, seeing as Kazuki was gone, and started to get out of the park as well. Looks like I'm stuck finding Mystery Boy.
Time skip. It was night and Naruto just came out of a restaurant with a satisfied look on his face as had eaten 20 bowls of ramen. He had changed his clothes, seeing as they were considered weird by the townsfolk, and now he was wearing black jeans, an orange shirt with a red spiral shape on the back, with black sandals, but he still had his white mask on, but it was ignored, the people thinking he must have had a cold or something. Man, shadow clones are the best thing ever. It's a good thing I made 100 of them and got a fat wad of cash from the jobs they did, but what I can't believe just how easily they got it without giving out too much info and more was that the prices here are pretty reasonable. But man, it looks like this place really is a lot more advanced than my world. I'm lucky that they speak and write the same language, or else I would have had a really tough time. Well, might as well get to the hotel and get some rest. I can get more info tomorrow. Naruto was walking down a street in a good mood. As he is walking, he saw a black cat with golden eyes came near him and rubbed its head with Naruto's leg as he bent down to pet the cat. Naruto rubbed the back of its ear. As he did this, the cat purred, but Naruto noticed something. Looks like some time kind of transformation technique. Nice try, but it's not that easy tricking Naruto Uzumaki. Sigh.
Well, looks like I've already attracted attention to myself. But for now I'll play along and see how this goes. Hey there little guy, don't have a place to stay huh? The cat just purred in response, as it was enjoying being petted. Well, want to come with me? Naruto said this and picked up the cat with both arms, like one would pick up a child, and Naruto gave the cat a smile behind his mask and the cat returned it with a happy meow. And Naruto noticed something very interesting as he examined the cat. Well then, what are we waiting for? Let's go. Naruto said this and placed the cat on his shoulder and continued towards his destination. At the hotel, Naruto had booked a room for the night in small normal-looking hotel. The hotel wasn't very big or luxurious but just a simple hotel which was 4 stories tall and had a decent-sized reception but quite dull furniture and rooms. Naruto had picked a double bedroom, seeing as he hated sleeping in small beds. Naruto's room had the most basic of things like a normal bed, a couch, a table, a small fridge with some food and drinks, and a fair-sized bathroom with a shower. As Naruto entered the room, the cat then jumped down from his shoulder and looked around the room. Naruto went towards the fridge and took out a box of milk and poured it on a bowl and placed it on the ground for the cat. Hey Neko-chan, if you're hungry then here is some milk. Well, I'm going to hit the shower. Naruto then headed towards the shower while the cat came over to the bowl of milk and started to drink. Later, when Naruto came out of the shower, he had changed his clothes to black boxers and a white t-shirt and had changed his white mask to a black one, and went towards his bed and then lied on it. The cat had finished its milk and came over to Naruto's bed and jumped up and curled up on his chest and purred as Naruto was scratching the back of its ear. Naruto just sighed and stared towards the ceiling while petting the cat. So how long are you going to stay in that cat form? Doesn't it get boring after a while? Naruto said, surprising the cat as it quickly stood up and turned its head towards his face. When did you find out I wasn't a normal cat? The cat replied with a serious, deep, manly voice and surprised as how she was quickly discovered. From the beginning when you showed yourself to me, but what's up with the manly voice? Naruto asked with a confused look on his face. What makes you say that? The cat now confused and even more surprised. Naruto chuckled, then looked towards the cat with an amused and perverted look on his face. Well, you don't really have the part that guys have, if you know what I mean, Naruto said, then winked at the cat, earning him a flushed and flustered look on the cat's face. So do you mind showing me your true form so we can talk about why you're stalking me? I am not stalking you, kid, don't flatter yourself. Anyways, since you found out my secret, guess there's no use hiding it from you, so here goes. The cat said as she transformed. As she did, her body glowed brightly with light and Naruto had to close his eyes to protect his eyes from the blinding light. They're happy now, the cat now said in a feminine voice. As the smoke cleared and Naruto opened his eyes, he couldn't believe his eyes because now in front of him was a beautiful woman in dark skin, long flowing purple hair that reached to the back of her waist, mesmerizing golden eyes, a curvaceous body that would make a goddess jealous, and very big bountiful and she was but in front of him. Naruto thanked Konohamaru in his head for if it wasn't for him using Waijutsu on Naruto every time he had the chance, in order to surpass Naruto's Waijutsu, then now, Naruto would now be knocked out cold from the cat's true form like any other man, but he didn't, though he still couldn't fight back a nosebleed as he got a few drops of blood, but thanks to his mask the Catwoman didn't notice. The Catwoman frowned at Naruto's resilience as he didn't get knocked out or get a nosebleed from seeing her. "Aw, you're no fun," the Catwoman said with a disappointed look on her face. Naruto sighed and combed his hand through his hair and got up and went over to a bag in the side of the room which consisted of some of his clothes. Luckily for Naruto, his main scroll passed through the dimensional travel with him undamaged, and Naruto had then taken out some storage scrolls from it. He had sealed lots of different types of scrolls in his main one, like clothes, weapons, jutsu scrolls, etc., and he was glad he had it with him when he came. "Here, you can wear this," Naruto said as he threw a white t-shirt and blue jeans towards the Catwoman. As she caught the clothes, she had a confused look on her face. "What? Don't tell me you like being," Naruto said as he turned his face backwards and looked at a wall. "Go ahead and change. I won't peek, but if you don't feel comfortable then you can use the bathroom too." If the Catwoman was confused before, then now it wasn't funny. This guy had not only had he fainted from looking at her body, but he also quickly gave her a pair of clean clothes to change into. Just what's up with that? This definitely isn't what she expected at all. The Catwoman just kept on staring at Naruto, who had his back towards her. "Hey, what's wrong? Are you going to change or not? Asked the brunette. No, it's just that I never expected this from you and I'm kinda surprised is all. Naruto chuckled at the Catwoman's response. Don't get the wrong idea, okay? It's just that I've seen better and I'm not some desperate pervert who would rather just gawk at a woman than get her some clothes. Naruto had lied about seeing better than the Catwoman's body as all the women he had were no match to this dark beauty, but he didn't want to admit that, so he just bluffed. Oh, you were fun before but now I'm more interested, the cat said in a playful voice. Is that so? Well, looks like you aren't here to capture of harm, seeing as I did give you lots of openings which any assassin would have used. So mind telling why you're here? Straight to the point, huh? Well, this might take a while, so take a seat and you can't turn around now, I'm done changing. Naruto did as he was told and turned to see the Catwoman face to face, and as he did she had into the clothes he had given her and she still looked beautiful even with the simple clothing. Naruto then sat on a chair facing the Catwoman and waited for her to begin. Well, let's start with introductions, shall we? Well, I'm Yoruichi Shiwan. Nice to meet ya. The Catwoman, now identified as Yoruichi, said with a cat-like grin. Well, I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, but just call me Naruto. Naruto, huh? Doesn't that mean fish cake? Yoruichi said, teasing Naruto. Naruto just sighed and rubbed the back of his head. Yeah, it does, but I like my name because my parents gave it to me and it means a lot, but I don't want to get sidetracked here, so would you mind putting aside your teasing for now? Yoruichi pouted, seeing Naruto wasn't playing along at all, but seeing his serious face, she decided it would be better to explain things to him. Alright then, so let's get started. So how much do you know? Naruto had a confused look on his face now. Not much actually, and I don't even know what was that monster I killed today. Yoruichi now had a dumbfounded look on her face. What do you mean? What that monster was? It was a hollow. Don't tell me you just attacked that thing without even knowing what or how strong it was. Well, I didn't know what that monster was, but I did know it was weak since its chakra wasn't anything special. Chakra? What's chakra? Yoruichi now confused. Well, if I put it simply, chakra is the energy gained from the combination of the physical and spiritual energies inside a person's body, Naruto said in a matter-of-fact tone. Chakra is the spiritual and physical energy of a person? But that's unheard of? Yoruichi now really confused. What's there to be confused about? People have physical and spiritual energy inside them and can use them to do quite a lot of impressive things, but the people whom I've seen here don't have much chakra. Even from the civilians in my village had more than them. Hell, even a dead genin has more chakra than the people here. Genin? Village? Just where are you from, Naruto? Naruto now knew things are going to get messy, so he decided to get his answers first. Listen, I know you're confused and all, but I don't think you're more confused than I am here. So why not you explain the stuff you know and then I'll tell you mine. Yoruichi just nodded and began to explain lots of different things like souls, hollows, shinigami, quincies, soul society, and other different things to him, and Naruto took in all the data and made his own theory. So you are telling me that when a person dies their soul stays in the world of the living till they meet a shinigami and then they are sent to soul society, and also there is not one but thousands of shinigami, and another part of a shinigami's job other than helping souls is killing hollows, which are souls that have become corrupted by hate or regret, and there are different types of hollows. And Shinigami also run a type of military system and have divided the Shinigami into ranks based on their strength, and they call it the Gote 13. And lastly, normal people don't even about all of what's going on because they can't see Shinigami or souls except for a select few. Yoruichi nodded. Well, that's the basic idea, I guess. Well, if you're done then it's my turn. Okay, so first of all tell me, just where did you come from? And what kind of powers do you have? Naruto quickly thought over for an answer. Well, let's see. I guess you can say that I'm from a village far, far away from here, and the people over there have the same type of power that I have. Yoruichi was now completely dumbfounded as to how did a village even exist of superhumans and it went undetected from the Soul Society for so long. Naruto, seeing the unbelieving look on Yoruichi's face, understood that he has to a bit specific, so he decided to give out a little more information about himself. Well, to be more precise, I think my entire world is different from this one because I came from another dimension, and in my world people can use chakra and do lots of different things. Yoruichi was now at the limit of her confusion, but she shook her head and tried to sort out all of the information so far. Okay, so this kid is from another world, has powers no normal human should have, and can see spirits and can kill a Manos Grande with just one attack. Just what kind of messed up world did he come from where the living alone can kill Manos? If the living are like that, just what kind of Shinigami would they have there? But now isn't the time to think about that. Yoruichi has to know more about this kid. Then mind explaining what world are you from and what it's like on your world. Naruto nodded and explained to her the basic things about his world, like the ninjas and elemental nations and the war that was going on before he came here. Yoruichi was now impressed that this kid who wasn't more than 18 is a ninja. A soldier for his village, and he has killed too. He has been in a war. There aren't many people that can say stuff like about themselves. Well, pretty impressive, but how did you end up in our world in the first place? Naruto got a sad look on his face at the last question and looked down on the floor with sadness in his eyes. Noticing this, Yoruichi understood that this might have been a touchy subject and decided to leave it alone till Naruto was comfortable enough to her someday. So Naruto, just how strong are you? Don't know, you're a Shinigami too, right? Why don't we spar and you can see for yourself how strong I am? Oh, you're more of an action guy, huh? Yoruichi asked in a teasing way. Usually yeah, but the real reason is since I traveled through dimensions my body changed, and so I don't know just how its new limits, so I want to see what I can do. Yoruichi blinked a couple of times in confusion. What do you mean your body changed? Well, for starters, my hair used to be blonde but now it's raven black and with blood red tips, and another change would be my eyes because they used to blue but now they're golden yellow, and I don't sense any internal changes, well, at least for now. Wow, you serious? Kazuki isn't going to leave you alone for quite some time, once he hears about you? Who's Kazuki? Yoruichi sighed and scratched the back of her head. Well, his name is Urahara Kazuki. He is an old friend of mine and he's a Shinigami too, plus he is a scientist and a pervert, and lastly he is the guy that sent me to contact you. And what did he want you to contact me about exactly? He wants your help, Naruto, and so do I. You see, there is a guy named Aizen in Soul Society who has been planning something for quite a while, and we are sure it isn't anything good and we want to stop him, but we can't do it alone, so we need help, Yoruichi said in a serious voice. Is that so, huh? Well, what makes you think I can be any help? You defeated a Manos Grande, which isn't something small. Usually the Soul Society needs seated officers to bring that thing down, but you took it down in one shot. But you said it yourself that Soul Society has Captain Shinigami and they can take on hundreds of Manos alone, and you want me to stop a guy who is in the Soul Society and is probably guarded by these captains. Actually, Aizen is a captain himself, Yoruichi said while rubbing the back of her head sheepishly. Naruto sighed as combed his hand through his hair and got up from his chair. Well, I'll make you a deal. Let's spar tomorrow, and if you think I can help out then we see from then on. Yoruichi smiled at his proposal and nodded. Well, if you don't mind then I'm going to get some sleep, Naruto said as he walked towards his bed and lied on it. Well, you wouldn't mind if I sleep for the night, do you? Yoruichi asked in a teasing voice, trying to make Naruto blush. Sure, go ahead, it's been a while since I slept with a beautiful woman myself, Naruto won in a teasing voice of himself. Yoruichi's sweat dropped at the teen's casual response. This wasn't some normal teen, well, a normal teen with powers anyways. No matter what she tried she couldn't get to tease him, and it was starting to get to her, and so she decided to turn up the heat. Don't mind if I do, Yoruichi said as she jumped towards the bed but turned into a cat midway and landed gently on Naruto's chest and curled again on his chest. Naruto simply sighed and went to sleep. Good night, Yoruichi. Yay, good night, Naruto. Next day. It was around noon and Naruto and Yoruichi in cat form had arrived at a strange store. So, is this your friend Urahara's place? Yeah, I told you that we were coming here. What's wrong? Yoruichi replied in a deep manly voice. No, it's just that I didn't expect a former Shinigami to stay at a candy store is all. Well, I'm glad you liked. Kazuki came out of the store and greeting the two. Naruto's sweat dropped. I never said I like it, weirdo. Well, welcome to my humble store, it's nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you too. I have been waiting for quite some time for you, Naruto-kun. How do you know my name? Naruto now surprised. Cut the chit-chat, Kazuki, you can ask your questions later, but now we need the training ground for a little spar. Yoruichi interrupted them. Oh, I never thought that you might be interested in testing his skill, Yoruichi. What made you change your mind? Yoruichi gave him a feral grin which sent shivers down both Kazuki and Naruto's spines. Let's just call it intuition. So hurry it up because I'm in a mood to fight unless you want to fight me first? Kazuki was now sweating and stumbled back a few feet and quickly waving his arms and shaking his head. No. No, please go on ahead, my questions can wait. Naruto's sweat dropped seeing the blonde scared of Yoruichi like that. I take it you're pretty strong? Naruto asked in a curious voice. Oh, you'll see. They don't call me Goddess of Flash for nothing. Crap, Yoruichi looks like she is going to go a little serious on this kid, and if she does we'll need a stretcher for him. Damn it, Yoruichi, we need the coming time to train these kids, not hospitalize them, were Kazuki's thoughts as he led both Naruto and Yoruichi to the underground training facility. Underground training grounds. Wow, this place is pretty impressive, Naruto said as he looked through the area, but he was shocked when a really tall man around 6'9" with muscular build with tanned skin, with a long curly mustache, wearing glasses and a white t-shirt with blue pants and an apron on top, quickly grabbed his hand with both his arms. Thank you very much, Naruto Dono. You don't know how much it means to have the result of my hard work be praised. Yeah, it's cool and all, but who are you again? Naruto asked while sweat dropping. Oh, forgive my manners, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Tessai Tsukabishi. Alright, I'm ready, so let's get started, Naruto, Yoruichi said in her feminine voice again. As Naruto looked, she now had her hair in a ponytail and was wearing black trousers, a black tank top, and over it she was wearing an orange jumper. Yeah, let's, Naruto nodded in agreement as they both quickly went over to a clearing and away from Kazuki and Tessai. So any last words before I kick your butt? Yoruichi asked in a playful voice with a cat-like grin. Naruto's reply was a quick fighting stance as he got ready. They both stared at each other for almost a minute, but then Naruto started the fight as he sprinted towards Yoruichi. Naruto threw a punch at Yoruichi, but she easily blocked it with her left forearm and quickly kicked Naruto in the gut with her right leg, sending him off a meter, but as Naruto fell on the ground he vanished in a puff of smoke. What the, where did he go? Yoruichi now trying to locate Naruto, but was surprised as Naruto quickly appeared behind her. You shouldn't let your opponent get behind you like that, Naruto said calmly as he kicked her in the head, but before his leg could make contact Yoruichi disappeared out of sight. Oh, not bad. I was beginning to worry that the Shinigami weren't so tough around here, Naruto said in an amused voice. Not bad, kid. I got a question for ya. When did you change your outfit like that, and what's with the smoke? Yoruichi asked with a smirk on her face. That's two questions, but how about I show you instead Shadow Clone Jutsu? Naruto had made 5 shadow clones appear out a puff of smoke as he made a strange hand sign, and then the clones quickly sprinted towards Yoruichi and began attacking her, but they were quickly taken out by Yoruichi's impressive fighting skill. Looks like I'll have to get a little serious here, Shadow Clone Jutsu. This time 2 Naruto clones appeared, but only one sprinted towards Yoruichi, but this time as it got in close range to Yoruichi it stopped and smirked behind his mask. Clone Great Explosion, said the clone as it exploded, while making a 2-meter wide crater on the ground and covering the area with smoke, but Yoruichi quickly jumped out of the smoke but was caught off guard as one Naruto had done his hand seals and inhaled air and wind style air bullet, and fired a great gust of compressed air at her, but she dodged it quickly as she PO'd out of the way, but as she got out of the way another Naruto appeared behind her in midair and kicked her on the shoulder, causing her to hit the ground and make a small crater. Not bad. Looks like you have lots of different skills and looks like I'll have to use a more force, Yoruichi said as she quickly jumped up towards Naruto and punched him in the face and sending him flying backwards, but as he hit the ground he was covered in a puff of smoke and a log had taken his place. Yoruichi, now surprised and on guard, quickly readied herself, but just then around 30 Narutos jumped her from all directions, but Yoruichi simply smirked and disappeared in a shunpo and finished off all the clones. Damn, she's fast. I haven't seen anyone other than that bastard Madara that fast before, and if she's this fast then she probably will be strong too, and I don't think I want one of those punches. I nearly got one back there too. My main objective is to find out how my new body works, and judging so far it's even faster and stronger than before. Just what happened to me? Well, that aside, I also want to know just how strong a Shinigami is and is capable of doing, because I have a hunch that Yoruichi and Kazuki are going to drag me into some kind of mess. Looks like you're the last one, so I'm guessing you're the real one, Yoruichi asked with a smirk on her face as she had finished off Naruto's clones in less than 10 seconds. Looks like you did, but I have a favor to ask you, Yoruichi. What would you want in the middle of a fight? Yoruichi asked with a confused look on her face. Oh, just try not to get killed from the next thing I'm going to use, Naruto said with a smirk behind his mask. True Rinnegan. Naruto had closed his eyes, but when he opened them again now he had gray-colored ripple patterns on his eyes. Human path, Naruto said as he then sprinted towards Yoruichi at more than 4 times faster than his old speed, and as he got in close range with her, Naruto started throwing punches and kicks at Yoruichi, who was blocking and countering seriously and with a surprised and confused look on her face. This kid, he can make solid clones of himself and make them explode. He can control elements. To just what kind of human is he? Naruto and who were now exchanging blow for blow around the training field for a little while, but Yoruichi quickly made distance between herself and Naruto and launched a Hado. Shakaho. Shot of red fire. As she fired, a red blast of energy fired off he hand towards Naruto, but Naruto dodged it with a shunsen. Alright, how about I use my new move, though I didn't get much practice using it. Deva's path. Shinra Tensai. As Naruto pointed his right arm towards Yoruichi while making a small blue spiral ball of energy in his left arm. Yoruichi was in midair when he felt a force pulling her towards Naruto, and she couldn't fight back, and the fact that she was in midair made it even worse, as she was now being pulled towards Naruto and she couldn't stop herself. Just what kind of power is this? Just as Yoruichi neared Naruto, and since there wasn't much distance between them, there was a much time for a counter-attack, so she braced herself for the next attack, but before it could hit, Naruto's control over gravity was cut off and Yoruichi was set free, but Naruto felt a great pain in his eyes and his chakra control suddenly got shot and his Rasengan was getting overcharged. Naruto fell to the ground and hit the ground, making a huge crater the size of 15-meter radius. Seeing this, Yoruichi got worried and quickly got over to Naruto's side. Hey, what happened? You okay? Naruto looked out of breath and his eyes were now bleeding as he was on all fours. He kept on trying to breathe calmly, but it was difficult. Kazuki saw that the fight couldn't continue any longer, so he came over to check over Naruto. Hey, is he okay? He doesn't look too good. I don't know, for a minute he was fighting like a monster and now he can't even breathe properly. You think he used too much energy? No, that's not it. I could use my Rinnegan before and nothing like this happened. I haven't even used much chakra for me to exhaust myself. No, I think this happened because something has changed with my Rinnegan, Naruto said as he got up and looked at the two. What is a Rinnegan? Kazuki asked, curious. It's a special power in the eye that select few possess, and it grants the user special abilities. Naruto answered in a matter-of-fact tone. So then what happened? Yoruichi now asked. Can't tell for sure, but damn, I need some rest, so mind letting me stay here for a while? Kazuki simply nodded as Tensai came over and helped Naruto to get out of the training room, but before he left he turned and looked at Yoruichi from his shoulder. Don't you dare think this is over. Once I find out what's wrong with my body and fix it, then we will continue this match. Yoruichi was first surprised but then smirked at him and waved. Yeah, you better fix yourself up quick so I can kick your ass. After Naruto had left and only Kazuki and Yoruichi were left behind, Kazuki decided to start off. So what do you think? Well, I have to say I'm surprised. The techniques he used were just insane and his fighting style was pretty unique. Seems as he first analyzes an opponent with his clones, then wears them out or confuses his opponent by mixing in with his clone and attacking randomly, but the most interesting thing were his eyes and the power he used to pull me towards himself, and that energy ball thing that made the crater. That gravity pull was most impressive, and so was that compressed energy attack. Well, he really is quite something. So did you find anything about him? Well, I did, about some general stuff, but he was really tight-lipped when it came to his powers or how he came here. Well, mind telling me the stuff you know for now? Yoruichi then told Kazuki the things she had learned about Naruto, like he was from a village from another dimension and his world had ninja villages and the human there were far more stronger than in here, and about some other things. Well, this is indeed most interesting. A ninja from another dimension, and I would definitely like to check his body sometime, but time isn't a luxury we have now, do we? So think he'll help us out? Kazuki asked in a serious voice. He just might, Yoruichi nodded. Do you think he can stand up to the current captains? I'm not sure about that, but thus far he is strongest ally we've got. Well, we don't have much time since they have already dispatched a pair of Shinigami to capture Rukia-san, and it's only a matter of time before they find her. We have to get everyone ready for the upcoming battle, Kazuki. Naruto and Ichigo won't be able to do it alone. Yeah, I know. Naruto and Yoruichi's fight had come to an unexpected stop as Naruto's eyes started bleeding and his body gave up on him from exhaustion. Naruto then left the training area to get some rest while Tessai helped him get out of the training field. "So think he'll help us out?" Kazuki asked in a serious voice. "He just might," Yoruichi nodded. Do you think he can stand up to the current captains?" "I'm not sure about that, but thus far he is strongest ally we've got." "Well, we don't have much time since the Soul Society have already dispatched a pair of Shinigami to capture Rukia-san and it's only a matter of time before they find her. We have to get everyone ready for the upcoming battle, Kazuki. Naruto and Ichigo won't be able to do it alone." "Yeah, I know," Kazuki had said as he covered his face with his fan. Naruto was in a white space again. As he looked around he couldn't see anything. He didn't know what to make of his situation. Was he dead again? No, that's not possible. "Hey, anyone around here?" Naruto asked as he walked around in the white space. Then two figures were starting to become visible as they were coming closer to Naruto's direction, but when they reached him, Naruto couldn't believe his eyes at the sight of the couple who were in front of him. "It can't be." But Naruto was then cut off by one of the figure. He was a male with blonde spiky hair with two bangs to the side of his face that reached his chin. He had light tanned skin and blue eyes. He was wearing black boots, blue pants, gray shirt, a green vest, and on top of it he was wearing a long white coat with flame patterns on the bottom. "It's been a while since we last met, huh, Naruto?" Blonde greeted Naruto with a smile and a wave. "My Naruto-kun, you've grown even more since I last saw you. You look even more handsome than before too. I wonder how many girls have a crush on you," the female now said in cheerful voice. She was a beautiful woman with red long hair that reached her back. She had light and smooth skin and she had gray eyes and was wearing green dress. Naruto was shocked to see his parents again. This wasn't possible. How could he meet them again unless he had died too? Now Naruto was definitely thinking if he had actually died. "What's wrong, Naruto? Not happy to see us?" the blonde said jokingly. "T2-san and Ka-san, but how? I don't understand. Am I really dead?" Naruto asked with his shock visible in his voice. "No, Naruto-kun, you aren't dead, but I'm sorry we can't tell you how we are meeting you here," Kushina said with a sad smile on her face. "Is this a dream?" Naruto asked as he looked down on his feet, sadness in his voice. "No, but something similar. Let me explain, Naruto." Naruto looked at his father and decided to listen what he had to say. "You see, this is a special world or realm, you can call it, that exists between dreams and reality," Minato said, but before he could continue he was cut off by Naruto. "What do you mean between dream and reality, and how or why are you here in the first place?" "Well, we can't tell you how, and don't ask why we can't do that because it's out of our hands, but we can tell you why. Well, now let me continue. You see, this place is special as it exists between dream and reality, and it's the only place where people can communicate from different dimensions, and that's how we can talk to you. But the reason why we're talking to you is that some people from high positions don't want you doing something dangerous." "What do you mean dangerous?" Naruto asked with a confused look on his face. Now Kushina started. "You see, Naruto-kun, since you sealed the Jubi inside yourself, your body completely changed as now you are more of a human-demon hybrid, and you don't know it yet, but your powers are extremely dangerous now, and if you ever lose control you might destroy the entire planet." "The entire planet? Are you kidding me? I know that I'm even stronger than before, but no matter what I don't think I can destroy the planet," Naruto said with a serious voice. "Yes, you can, Naruto. You don't know it, but you can, and that's the reason we were sent to warn you," Minato now answered in a serious voice. "Well, if that's all, then I'll be extremely careful so that doesn't happen. Actually, the thing is, we know that you can always control yourself, but what we came to warn you about is someone in particular." Minato said this, but then Kushina pouted and Minato chuckled as he looked at her. "What's wrong? I can't believe they won't let us just tell him. It would make things so much easier. He could go find him right now and beat the shit out of him." "Tell me what?" Naruto, now confused. Minato chuckled lightly at his wife and continued. "You know we can't do that, Kushina, because it might change things." "Well, Naruto, the reason why we were sent here is that to tell you not to kill your enemies from here on out." Naruto was now confused and a little angry as to why he couldn't kill his enemies, because if he didn't then they would probably bite him in the ass later. And that was a lesson he had to learn the hard way. "What do you mean? I don't understand." Well, you see, we can't tell you who it is, but know this: if you kill that one specific person, then you will lose your humanity and really become a monster. And as to how that is possible, well, you see, we were told that a black sphere-like object exists in this dimension that has the power to twist and change a person's mind and soul. If that thing ever made contact with you, then you will surely lose control, so that is why we want you to be careful. Well, I think I understand. So is that all you had to say? Minato and Kushina both chuckled. Actually, if it were in our hands, we would never stop talking to our son, but we are on a strict time and can't stay for long. But since you got the warning in your head quickly, we still have a few moments left, Minato said with a deep and caring smile. You know we love you, Naruto-kun, and want all the happiness in the world for you, and even though we weren't there when you were growing up, we still want you to have a family of your own and have a happy life because you deserve it more than anyone, Kushina said in a motherly voice and hugged Naruto and continued talking. Oh, and Naruto-kun, since you were at that age, I think it's time you got yourself a nice wife that loves you. When Naruto heard this, he got a big blush over his face. And I also want you to make lots of grandchildren for me, okay? Kushina said cheerfully. Well, since he is my son, he will probably find one hell of a wife, Minato said as he chuckled. But I think you might get more than one wife, Naruto. What do you mean to San? Minato laughed a little and talked with a smile. Well, your mother is one of a kind and she made me not look at other women. Hell, I was scared shitless at even thinking about it, but if I hadn't met your mother, then I probably would have had a pretty big harem. Minato finished with a perverted smile on his face. Minato-kun, what did we talk about advising Naruto on finding the right girl? Kushina asked in an angry voice as she looked at Minato with a deathly glare and directing her killer intentions towards him. Minato was now sweating buckets as he tried to get away from Kushina and waving his arms. No, Kushina-chan, I was joking around, you see. Oh, and looks like our time is up, Kushina-chan, so we have to go, Minato then said, making Kushina pout. But I wanted to talk to Naruto-kun more. Minato chuckled at his wife's childish behavior. Well, we will meet him again someday, so let's wait till then. Hell, we might even get another chance to talk to him like this again too. Minato then appeared next to Naruto as he and Kushina both hugged Naruto and said in unison, no matter what happens, know that we will always love you and we are proud to have you as our son. Tears began coming down Naruto's eyes as he looked at his parents who were slowly vanishing away. Kushina was the first to vanish, but before Minato could too, he gave Naruto a smile. Hey, I was serious back then, Naruto. Some people need more than one person to love in their life, and don't forget that. And lastly, I also expect to see lots of grandchildren with lots of different looks, if you know what I mean. Minato winked at his son, causing him to blush a little, and then disappeared. Urahara shop. Naruto was in an empty room and was laying in a futon comfortably. As he got up and sat down and rubbed the back of his head, he sighed at the dream he had. Damn, my head hurts. But looks like I'll be having a lot of headaches from now on if I can't kill my future enemies, and all because of some bastard with a stupid black thing that can make me go fisco. Naruto sighed and got up and left the room. As Naruto left the room, he then entered the living room and saw that Kazuki was sitting there comfortably and Yoruichi was sitting in her cat form in the room too. Oh, looks like you're finally awake, Naruto-kun. I was beginning to worry that you were dead, Kazuki said in a joking voice. How long was I out for? Naruto asked, curious. Well, you were out for the whole day, Yoruichi answered in her cat voice. Damn, I didn't think the effects of the altered Rinnegan would be this bad, Naruto said as he rubbed the top of his head. Or was it that dream thing connection with my parents that took so long? Were Naruto thoughts. So did I miss anything? Naruto said, now sitting down. Yeah, well, Kuchiki Rukia was captured by Soul Society last night when you were asleep, and Ichigo got pretty badly injured and lost him powers when he fought the other Shinigami. Yoruichi answered, and Kazuki just looked at Naruto. Hey, you said that this Rukia person was a Shinigami, so why would the Soul Society want to capture their own people? Well, about that then let me bring you up to speed about everything up until now, Kazuki answered and began explaining things to Naruto. He told him stuff like why Rukia was captured and how she was going to be executed and how Ichigo and his friends were all involved in all this. I think I get the situation, and looks like you want me to help save this Rukia person, right? Naruto now looked at Kazuki seriously. Kazuki chuckled behind his fan which he held towards his face. My, you catch on fast, Naruto-kun, but yes, we want your help to save Rukia-san. Naruto just sighed as he looked down on the floor and then looked back at Kazuki with a glare. That's not all there is to it. You're hiding things from me, Kazuki, and if you don't tell me then I don't think I'll be able to help you. And what makes you say that, Naruto-kun? Kazuki now gave Naruto a look of his own. Please, as far as Rukia goes, she is just another Shinigami to you. It wouldn't matter if she was executed, but there is something more, and that's the hidden reason you want to help her, isn't it? Kazuki laughed a little and then answered. You really are a ninja, aren't you? You can easily look past tricks and deception. Well, since it's no use hiding it from you, then I'll tell you. Yes, there is a reason as to why I want to help her. Kazuki then told Naruto about the Hogyuko and that Aizen was after it for some reason, and since the Hogyuko was inside Rukia, then Aizen had made the plan of executing her. When Naruto heard this, he grit his teeth and held his arms tightly as they were crossed at his chest and thought that this Aizen character was just like Madara, who would do anything in order to get to his goals. Alright, now I have the general idea as to what's going on and I think I can help you out. Well, that would be great, Naru. Kazuki was cut off by Naruto. Boot, it's going to cost you. Kazuki and Yoruichi just blinked at Naruto a couple of times in confusion, but Yoruichi broke the silence. What do you mean, Naruto? Well, like I said, I'm a ninja, which basically means that I'm a mercenary and I take money for the jobs I do, and the job that you want me to do is infiltrating the Soul Society and bring back a person, and that place is filled with strong and dangerous people, so I guess this mission would be an S-rank mission. Kazuki and Yoruichi blinked again in confusion and were trying to process the data. So you're going to help us if we pay you? Is that right? Yoruichi asked in an irritated voice. Yep, pretty much. If I don't charge for my services, then people from all over are just going to keep asking me for help and I'll become a charity case, and besides, and I need money, you know, because I'm flat broke. So how much it's going to cost us? Kazuki asked curiously. Let's see, well, I guess considering the price of an S-rank mission and its worth in here would be. Naruto thought for a minute and then answered, which shocked the other two in the room. 10 million yen. Are you crazy? We don't have that kind of money. Yoruichi snapped with slight anger in her voice, and Kazuki was sweating from thinking about the amount. You guys are broke too, huh? Well, I guess they're always the return favor way? Kazuki and Yoruichi now looked at Naruto in confusion. The return favor way? They both said in unison. Naruto chuckled a little and answered. Yeah, well, it's something like this: I do something for you and do return my favor by doing something for me of equal value. Kazuki and Yoruichi just sighed and gave up trying to find a way around paying Naruto. Alright. Guess there is no helping it, I guess, so if you ever wanted something then we will get it done, Kazuki said in a tired voice. Cheapskate. Yoruichi said in a slight pout. Naruto just laughed it off and continued. Okay, so looks like we have a deal. So now that that's settled and looks like the Ichigo kid is awake. Kazuki and Yoruichi both looked at him in confusion, but then suddenly heard Ichigo scream. How did you know? Before Kazuki could finish, Naruto interrupted him. Come on, I want to see the look on his face. Naruto quickly got up and headed towards the room Ichigo was in, and Kazuki and Yoruichi followed. As they opened the door, they saw Tessai was on top of Ichigo, and Ichigo was trying to get him off himself and growling things like, too close, and, perverted old man. As Naruto saw the scene, he couldn't help but laugh, while Kazuki and Yoruichi's sweat dropped. When Tessai got off Ichigo, Ichigo then noticed Kazuki, but also the strange brunette in strange clothes next to him, laughing. Mr. Sandals and that strange guy, what was your name again? Ichigo asked with a confused look on him. My name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, and sorry about my appearance, let me change into something normal. Naruto answered as he used his left hand to make a strange hand sign, and in a puff of smoke his clothes had changed back to his orange shirt and black jeans. When Ichigo and the others saw this, they were all surprised at Naruto's ability. What the? How did you do that? Ichigo was the first to ask. Oh, that's easy. I can do this because I am an awesome ninja. The other people in the room's sweat dropped at his answer. But we aren't here to talk about me. The reason we are here is so that we can help you get your girlfriend back before she is executed, Naruto said, making the orange-headed teen blush. Hey, she isn't my girlfriend, she's just a friend, Ichigo quickly snapped. Sure, whatever you say, kid. Well, anyways, do you know the reason why you're here? Naruto said, teasing Ichigo. Ichigo then remembered what had happened last night and got a sad look on his face and lowered his, and his bangs shadowed his eyes. How's Ishida? He was there too. Well, he wasn't injured like you were, so he left early, even though I offered him to stay a little longer, but he did say something interesting that I had to help you because only you can save Rukia. Kazuki answered with a serious look on his face. Only me, huh? What does he expect me to do? Rukia went to Soul Society and there isn't any way I can bring her back, Ichigo said with a sad look on his face. What if I told you that there is a way to get to Soul Society? Kazuki said, surprising Ichigo as he got up and tried asking Kazuki how to get there. And what will you do once you get there, Romeo? Get your butt kicked again and make the girl feel bad about it, Naruto said, looking at Ichigo, and Ichigo now got angry. Shut up. I will save her no matter what, Ichigo said in anger. Nothing wrong with that, but how will you do that if you don't have the power? You should know by now that you don't have your Shinigami powers anymore, Naruto said, shocking Ichigo. The only way you can save her is if you get stronger fast. I don't have that kind of time. Rukia could get executed any time. Actually, there is a 1-month period wait for a prisoner to be executed in Soul Society, and in Rukia-san's case, she has 1 month, Kazuki said, surprising Ichigo. Which means you have enough time to get stronger and more than enough time for me to make my preparation too, Naruto said, making Ichigo look at him. What do you mean? Well, I'm going to Soul Society with you and help you save Rukia. What, do you even know her? Nope, but Kazuki asked me to help save her, and personally I don't approve of executing someone for helping a kid save his family either, so I look forward on our mission to Soul Society, Naruto said, holding his hand forward to shake Ichigo's hand. Thanks, I guess you aren't a bad guy. And the name is Kurosaki Ichigo. Nice to meet ya, Ichigo said, shaking Naruto's hand. Naruto simply nodded. Well, since you've made your decision, then you should head home and make an excuse to your family and friends about your little secret trip to Soul Society. Ichigo simply nodded at Naruto's suggestion and left after he got his stuff. You're pretty good at handling people, Kazuki said, looking at Naruto in surprise. I guess you can say that. I had to learn lots of things in a short amount of time when there was war in my world and they needed me to get stronger so that I could help everyone, but Ichigo reminds me of myself back when I was a kid in my own world, so I understand how he feels. Saying this got Kazuki's attention. Yoruichi told me you were a ninja and you were in a war before you came here, but you didn't say what kind it was, for what it was or how it ended, Kazuki said, but Naruto got a sad look on his face as heard him, and Kazuki and Yoruichi understood that it was a topic of a later time. Well, I can tell you this, that it was a one-sided war and it did come to an end, but the sacrifices were too big for it to end, and I don't know what's going on right now over there because I came here just as it was over, Naruto said with sadness and regret in his eyes. Well, you can tell us whenever you feel comfortable. Well, anyways, we have 10 days to train the kid and 7 days to make a gate for Soul Society and 13 days once we get there, Yoruichi said, getting in on the conversation. Well, that's more than enough time for us to get ready, Naruto said. So what are you going to do? And what about your condition? Yoruichi asked. Don't worry about that because one of my great skill is multitasking. I'm going to see what's wrong with me and test my limits in the training area of yours, if you don't mind, Naruto asked, looking at Kazuki, and Kazuki simply nodded. Well, since I don't have any cash, I'll have to find a job too since I spent most of my money on the food and hotel. Naruto then went into thinking, and Kazuki and Yoruichi looked at him for a second, and then Naruto sighed and rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Did you get an idea or something? Kazuki said, looking at Naruto. Yeah, I guess I'll do what I'm good at and write my novel. I'm pretty sure it will make some cash for me. Now Kazuki and Yoruichi both got interested. You're a ninja and an author, that's pretty unexpected, so what kind of novels do you write? Yoruichi asked, looking at Naruto. Naruto just laughed a little as he rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Well, lots of people have different opinions about it, but you can have yours once you read it. Well, anyways, time to get started, Naruto said as he then made a hand sign, and in a puff of smoke another Naruto appeared, and Naruto simply looked at his clone and the clone knew what to do as he left the shop. By the way, you never told me about how you can make those clones of yours. Is that some special ability of yours? Yoruichi asked curiously. Nope, it's a technique that can be learned, though it does take lots of chakra. Oh, then you better teach me that technique of yours because it looks pretty useful. Naruto simply chuckled. Sorry Yoruichi, but you can't use that technique unless you can use chakra, and in order for you to do that, you need to be alive. Yoruichi simply pouted at his answer. Okay, time to head out and get some training done. Naruto said as he got out of the room. He saw two kids in front of him who looked like to be around the age of 10. One was a red-headed boy with short spiky hair. He was wearing a white shirt with white shorts, and next to him was a girl with black hair, dark blue eyes. Her hair was in two ponytails to the side, and she was wearing a shirt and a skirt that reached her knees with flower patterns on it. The red-headed child spoke first. Who are you? He said with a scowl on his face. Me? I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Nice to meet you, he answered politely. And what the hell is up with the mask on your face? Are you a burglar or something? Naruto simply sighed. Actually, I wear it to honor my late sensei who used to wear the same, and he would only take off his mask for his family and lover, and that's why I'm wearing it. What about his friends? The girl asked. That's because, so they wouldn't see his face and know the pain that was on it, because he had seen and done lots of things he didn't wanted to do. And very rarely someone would be able to tell how he felt, and he did this so he wouldn't worry his friends and family, Naruto said in a sad voice. Though I'm not good at hiding my emotions like him, I'm still improving, but that doesn't matter. So what about you guys? Want to tell me who you two are? Naruto then asked in a cheerful voice, surprising the two kids. I am Jinta. The boy introduced himself. And I'm Ururu. Nice to meet you, Naruto-san, she said, bowing her head a little. Well then, Jinta and Ururu, please excuse me, but I need to go and do some training, Naruto said as he left for the training field. My Jinta, this is pretty rare. You never let anyone go so politely, Kazuki said jokingly. That guy, he was cool, I guess. He didn't want to worry his friends, so he wears a mask. I can respect that, but if it was something else I would probably kick that weirdo's ass. He must have lots of emotional baggage on him if he wears a mask, Yoruichi said, worried about Naruto. Well, we don't know much about him, but he looks like a decent guy, so we can wait till he decides to tell us a little about himself. I guess you're right. Training area. Naruto arrived at the training area and proceeded to an area he felt comfortable and made a hand sign, and in a puff of smoke there were 1,000 Narutos. Alright, we will do it like always. Divide into 5 groups of 200 in Group 1. Your job is seeing if all the jutsu I know work or not. Group 2. Your job is checking if my elemental chakra is working or not. You guys can split into 3 parts since I can only use wind, lighting and water. Okay, Group 3. You guys get going and find out what's wrong with my Rinnegan. In Group 4. You guys need to see if all the seal and scrolls are working or not, and try seeing if you can summon a toad. And lastly, Group 5, you're with me because we are going to learn some new jutsu I never had time to learn back home. All the clones simply nodded and gave a salute to Naruto and headed to their respective areas. A little later, when Kazuki and Yoruichi came and saw 1,000 Narutos, their jaw dropped and they gawked at the phenomenon that was in front of them. The original Naruto noticed them and came over to them. Hey there guys, what's with the surprised looks? I told you that I'm good at multitasking, didn't I? Naruto, how many clones did you make? Yoruichi finally out of her shock. 1,000, but I can make 3,000, but that's not effective at training because it completely exhausts me. Yoruichi and Kazuki's jaws dropped once more at Naruto's answer. What? Come on, what's there to be so surprised about this? Just how strong are you, Naruto? Kazuki said, forcing a smile. I don't know myself, but before I came here, when I knew about my limits, then that time my strongest attack could easily blow this town into smithereens. Both Kazuki and Yoruichi were dumbfounded at Naruto's answer. Then you are probably on par with the head captain, and that's a scary thought, Kazuki said as he rubbed his head. Are you serious, Naruto? Yoruichi asked, still not believing what Naruto had told her. Yep, I'm not joking. My strongest attack was so dangerous that I was scared of it myself, Naruto answered with a smile behind his mask. Kazuki and Yoruichi just sighed loudly. Time skip. Naruto was looking over Ichigo and Kazuki's training. Ichigo, who had lost his powers, was able to get them back thanks to Kazuki, but there was a price. Ichigo didn't know it yet, but there was a hollow inside his soul. Kazuki had explained it to Naruto and had asked for his help when the time would come to get Ichigo to face his inner hollow, and Naruto had agreed to it. Naruto saw as Kazuki stopped Ichigo and his training and told him to take the next 7 days off, but Ichigo wasn't listening. And Naruto finally decided to help Kazuki out. Hey Ichigo, I think it's about time you took a break from training. What are you talking about, Naruto? I still have a week to train. I don't have time to play, Ichigo said as he looked at Naruto, who was coming towards him. Listen up, Ichigo. Our goal was to get you. your powers back and give you some combat training so you could handle yourself in a fight, and we have achieved that, but an important part of training is rest. You need rest if you want to save Rukia, or do you want to go to Soul Society and get beaten up quick before a fight starts because you were too damn tired? Ichigo was surprised to see as how Naruto was so calm about things and rationalized things for him, and not only was he smart but he was strong, really strong from what he heard from Kazuki. And he himself had seen him in action a little because he had killed a Manos Grande before in one hit. Yeah, but Ichigo was cut off by Naruto. Listen Ichigo, I know how you feel about saving Rukia, but you can't throw away your life like this. You want to save Rukia, but you also have a responsibility towards your friends and family too. You should enjoy the rest of the week with the people you care for before you enter the battlefield. Naruto said sagely, and Ichigo couldn't help but agree in his head. Besides, we are not going to war with Soul Society, we're just going to go there, get Rukia and come back, and hell, if we were lucky we might be able to come back without fight, well, a serious one at least. Well, it's good to see you agree Ichigo, and beside you should enjoy life, and there is a nice festival before you go to Soul Society, Kazuki said, catching both their attention. Alright, I guess, Ichigo shrugged and went home. A festival, huh? Hey Kazuki, what do people do in these festivals here? Naruto asked curiously. Oh, are you interested in going to Naruto? Yeah, well, since I'm stuck here for a while I want to see how things are in this world. Kazuki then explained to Naruto everything he knew about the festival. It's not that different from my own world actually. Is that so? Kazuki said curiously. Yeah, well anyways, I going to the festival and maybe ask Yoruichi out while I'm at it. Oh, you're going to ask Yoruichi? You've got balls, man, I'll give you that. Naruto simply grinned behind his mask. Well, I'm looking forward to the festival, but I need to get a few things done. Naruto went over to his clones and asked about their progress, and one clone came up who had the overall info that Naruto wanted. So what did you guys do today, and tell me one last time of all the stuff I finished. Okay boss. Well, looks like you're about 4 times stronger than you were back in our world, and your healing abilities are even better here. What's more is that most of the jutsu work well except the summoning jutsu. Aside from that, all the other stuff and jutsu seem fine, and as for Hirishin, well, it works fine. Lastly, about the new jutsu we learned, well, we managed to learn some fire release techniques. But I thought I didn't have any affinity towards fire? Yeah, well, most of us didn't bother with other elements, but some of you just tried it just for the heck of it, and it worked, and we learned Great Fireball, Dragon Fire, Phoenix Flower and Dragon Flame Bomb jutsu, but that's nothing compared to what some other clones managed. Naruto was shocked a little at himself again. He had known it when it happened, but every time he heard his clone say it and when they would dispel, he couldn't believe it, as to how it was all possible. He didn't help out with his clones since he was working on his Sage Mode, but this was ridiculous, and his ability to turn into Sage Mode faster and stronger had already surprised him enough. And about the Rinnegan boss, well, you see, we tried, but it looks like something is blocking the chakra network to your eyes, and if we try to push it then we dispel. Oh, and one last thing boss, we were able to figure out the secret to Kirin, and we can use it now. And lastly boss, we were also able to use a little ice release jutsu, though it isn't ready to be used in battle yet. When did I even have scrolls for ice jutsus? Well, the second Hokage had found some scrolls in his time and he sealed them inside the scroll of sealing, but sorry, we couldn't learn those. Naruto patted his clone on the shoulder. Don't worry, we've made more than enough progress, and once I find out how to fix my Rinnegan then I'll be back to full power. Actually boss, you're more stronger than before you came here, the clone said while sweat dropping. Well anyways boss, about the seal? Is it working fine or not? Don't worry about that, I did checked it myself and there aren't any problems, well, at least for now. Well, were you able to draw out Jubi's power? No, I couldn't, and I don't want to either. Alright boss, well, we will dispel ourselves now. Naruto nodded, and as his clones dispelled he had gained all their experience and fatigue, and he got to his knees, but he didn't faint. His stamina and chakra were amazing before, but now they were at insane levels. After he got up and left the training area for a bath and a talk with Kazuki. Naruto had been staying at Kazuki's shop for 10 days now, and he had gotten pretty comfortable, but he didn't want to impose on Kazuki for long and was waiting for the grand day that his clone brings back his money from the novel he had written. We all know what novel he's written. Hint. It's a small orange book. Hey Kazuki, I'm done with my training too, so about those friends of yours you mentioned who were good for a spar. Kazuki just chuckled evilly behind his fan at hearing what Naruto had said. Well Naruto, that's good to hear. Looks like you're going to use the next couple of days sparring, I take it. Yeah, well, I plan on for 3 days at least, then I'm going to take a break too. Well, if that's so, then here. Kazuki gave Naruto a card with some direction written on it. When you get there, say the password which is behind the card and they will let you spar with them. Why would they need a password? Well, they were former Shinigami, but now since they ran away from Soul Society they have to watch their backs, so you can't really blame them for that now, can you? Kazuki said in a playful way. Well, alright, I guess. I hope these guys are good in a fight. Well, see ya, Naruto said as he left for his destination. Oh, trust me, Naruto, they are more than good in a fight, Kazuki said with an evil smile which he hid behind his mask. Abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of Karakura town. Naruto had arrived to his destination after some time walking around town and getting lost, but he finally reached it. Is this the place? Well, at least the address is right. Well, might as well read the password? As Naruto looked at the password which was written behind the card, he thought it was weird but decided to go through with it. Say this out loud once you're in front of the warehouse and don't spot when you're saying it, huh? Hey, you Shinigami wannabes, get out here so Naruto-sama can kick your asses free of charge and in single file if you idiots can manage it. Naruto said at the top of his lungs, but then he realized it was more of an insult than a password. I'm going to kill him once I get my hands on. Naruto's thoughts were cut as a sandal came flying at him and hit him in the face with perfect accuracy, and later he got punched in the face which sent him flying backwards and he hit a wall of another warehouse. As Naruto got himself out of the debris, he looked at who had punched him and saw a short girl with blonde hair with 2 pigtails, and she had brown eyes and a scowl on her face as she was wearing a white shirt, pink sweater and pink shorts. Hey, you bastard. If you have death wish, then I dare you say that again. Naruto got near the girl and saw that she was getting irritated, and Naruto got one thought on his mind. Yep, definitely a tsundere with an attitude problem. Sorry about before, but Naruto was cut off as he got punched in the gut and thrown back again. Who said you can talk, you bastard? Now Naruto got pissed. He tried be nice but didn't work, and he wasn't going to take shit from anyone, so he decided to use his fists more than his words this time. Before the blonde girl could get close to Naruto, he disappeared as a swirl of leaves and appeared behind her. I tried being nice about this and even let you hit me, but it doesn't look like you'll get it through your thick skull, Naruto said as he quickly grabbed the girl from her waist, but before she could react he suplexed her to the ground, making a small crater, and then kicked her, sending her flying inside the warehouse. As he entered the warehouse. So think you want to keep going? Naruto asked in a smug voice. But then 6 people instantly surrounded him from all directions and pointed their swords near his neck, so he couldn't move. Oh well, I did come for a little spar here. Guess it doesn't matter if we fought first and made introductions later. Naruto then vanished in a swirl of leaves, and instantly 6 Narutos appeared behind each person as they simultaneously kicked all the attackers in the gut and sending them back and making distance between them. Hey, this guy's got some skill, said a silver-haired man. I tried being nice about this and even let you hit me, but it doesn't look like you'll get it through your thick skull, Naruto said as he quickly grabbed the girl from her waist, but before she could react he suplexed her to the ground, making a small crater, and then kicked her, sending her flying inside the warehouse. As he entered the warehouse. So think you want to keep going? Naruto asked in a smug voice. But then 6 people instantly surrounded him from all directions and pointed their swords near his neck, so he couldn't move. Oh well, I did come for a little spar here. Guess it doesn't matter if we fought first and made introductions later. Naruto then vanished in a swirl of leaves, and instantly 6 Narutos appeared behind each person as they simultaneously kicked all the attackers in the gut and sending them back and making distance between them. Hey, this guy's got some skill, said a silver-haired man. Bring it, you bastards. I'll beat the shit out of the lot of ya, Naruto roared as he had snapped and has sprinted towards his opponents. Naruto sprinted towards a blonde man who had long blonde hair that reached his back. He was wearing a black suit with his coat open and was wearing a white blouse underneath. As Naruto reached the fellow blonde, another figure jumped on him with sword on hand and stabbed Naruto. He was a dark-skinned man with black sunglasses wearing a green and white jogging suit. But Naruto disappeared in a puff of smoke and reappeared back from where he had sprinted. Looks like Kazuki was right. I am going to enjoy beating up these said Naruto in a maniacal and sadistic tone, sending shivers down the spines of his attackers. Wait, you know Urahara-san? said a calm and peaceful voice from the back of the warehouse. Naruto didn't turn his head but just his eyes so he could quickly see who this new figure and if he was a threat. As he saw the man come up closer for a better view, Naruto noticed that he was a large, very large dark-skinned man with pink hair. He was wearing a green formal suit. "Damn, you're huge, you wanna fight too?" Naruto asked in somewhat curious tone. The pink-haired man simply shook his head as to a no and looked at Naruto. "No sir, but I would like to know why you attacked us and how you know Urahara-san." Naruto simply shunshin in front of the large man and punched him in the gut, sending him flying backwards a few meters back, much to the surprise of the other figures. "You know, if you're going to try and be peaceful, then don't try acting like you're not using that strange technique, because I can practically the technique covering this warehouse," Naruto said with anger-filled voice. This surprised all of the other figures even more to Naruto's quick taking down the giant man in just a punch. Naruto then noticed something very interesting in the back of the warehouse, as there was staircase leading to an area underneath, and luckily for Naruto he had remembered hearing Kazuki saying he had made 2 training fields in Karakura town. Naruto smirked underneath his mask and quickly bolted towards the training field. And not wanting this intruder getting away, some of the residents of the warehouse followed Naruto into the training field. As the 4 figures came following Naruto, they noticed they couldn't find him anywhere. And try as they might, they couldn't find his spiritual signature. "Man, what the hell? Where did he disappear to? Don't tell me the bastard ran away?" asked the man with silver hair. "Hell no, I am not letting that bastard live after that kick he gave me," said the short blonde girl in an extremely angry voice. "Not to mention he suplexed your ass pretty hard back there too," said by a blonde in a teasing manner, but it quickly stopped as he got a quick and hard kick to his face. "But the most interesting is, he doesn't have any special spiritual energy at all, but he can still see us. That's very strange." The dark-skinned man in the green jogging suit joined the conversion. "Yeah, well, either that guy can keep his power hidden pretty well or Hiyori is getting weak," the silver-haired man said, but his eyes still searching for the strange brunette that had attacked them. "What the hell did you say, Kensai? You want me to kick your ass too, to see if who is the one gone weak here?" Hiyori snapped back. "You know, you guys are pretty laid back considering an enemy is just around and could attack and kill you right now, and let me tell you, if I wanted to kill you then by now you guys would have been dead 7 times now," Naruto said as he appeared before them in a swirl of leaves. Are you saying you aren't here to kill us here?" the blonde said as he smirked at Naruto. Naruto looked at him and saw that he had bobbed blonde hair that reached his shoulders, and he was wearing a yellow shirt with a bow tie and black pants. "Yeah, I was just here to have a little spar is all, but I really like this way of sparring, so don't hold back and let's fight already." The blonde hearing this sighed and rubbed the back of his head in annoyance and looked at Naruto. "Damn that Kazuki's sending this kid to fight us. At least the bastard could have told us or we might have killed this kid by now. Well anyways, hey, we don't have to kill the kid, so you guys can take turns if you want to. Not like the kid has any high spiritual energy." Naruto got pissed, but not at the kid remark, even though he was now 18 and was mentally much older and stronger than lots of people, but he didn't care about that. But what pissed him off was it being called weak. This had flipped the switch inside the brunette, redhead, and it wasn't going to be good news for the Vizards anytime soon. "Oh, so what you're saying is that I'm weak, huh? Well then please allow me to show my powers to you," Naruto said ominously and began running his hands through hand signs. "Huh? What the hell? You're praying? What's with the strange hand movement?" Hiyori asked, looking at Naruto with looks with both anger and curiosity. Naruto had stopped and brought his hands in a final ram sign and then looked at the Vizards with a feral smile behind his mask. "Oh no, but I'm sure by the end of the day you guys will be praying that you never pissed me off. Oh, and do me a favor, please don't die from the next moves I'll be using, since I've gotten the bad habit of not holding back." As Naruto said this and seals on his forearm protectors, shoes and vest started to glow, and huge new spiritual pressure had filled the room, and it startled the 4 Vizards in front of him. His spiritual energy was huge, and not just huge, freaking huge. The Vizards had their jaws dropped at the amazing power the teen was releasing, and it was on par with Captain's. The dark-skinned man was the first to snap out of shock and talk. Is it me, or does this kid the same amount of spiritual energy equal to a captain?" Kensai, the silver-haired man, just looked in awe at Naruto. No, it's not you. That kid has the same amount of spiritual energy pressure equal to a captain, and he isn't even some Shinigami or Quincy. Just how does he have so much power? No, love, what's more important is how the Soul Society hasn't found out about this guy. Granted, he has special power, but he couldn't have always been able to hide it so well, and that creates the reason as to how is it possible, or importantly, why hasn't Aizen not found him? Love and Kensai looked at Shinji in disbelief but understood what he was saying. What? Don't tell me you're too scared to fight me now, are you? The reason why no one has been able to sense me up until now is because of the seals I placed on my clothes to hide my chakra, or should I say spiritual pressure. Well, anyways, now then, shall we continue? Naruto said in a smug voice, but before he could taunt the Vizards more, there was one of them who had enough and charged at Naruto. Die, you bastard! Hiyori roared and lunged towards Naruto, but as she reached and attacked him in a horizontal slash, Naruto disappeared in a puff of smoke and it was replaced by a log. What the hell? Where did the log come from? You don't get much, do you? If you did, you wouldn't be so cranky right now, or is it your period today? Naruto said as he was now a few meters behind Hiyori. Whether it was anger or embarrassment or both, Hiyori's face was bright red, but she looked at Naruto with hate-filled eyes. You bastard! I am going to kill you! Hiyori roared in rage, but this time she shunpoed towards Naruto, but when she attacked Naruto in a downward slash, she was blocked by Naruto with a kunai, which he mysteriously popped out of nowhere. You know, even though you don't have much of technique, but you do make up for it in power and brute strength. Hell, I'm surprised that you have so much physical strength. You're dead, Hiyori said as she brought her left hand to the top of her face, and as she brought her hand down from her face, she had formed a mask with horn and unique design, which looked a little similar to Hollow's mask. But as the mask formed, her strength increased unimaginably, and her sword, which was still being blocked by Naruto, was coming down on him, and Naruto had no choice but break up and get back, unless he wanted a big cut on his torso. Damn, that's a big power-up you got, and looks like my kunai and shuriken won't be of much use here either. Guess I gotta use a good weapon too. Naruto quickly made some distance between him and Hiyori and instantly took out a scroll from his and making hand signs. There was a puff of smoke. After the smoke was cleared, Hiyori and the Vizards saw what Naruto had in his hand. It was a black hilt of a sword, but there wasn't any sword or blade or anything else. Naruto quickly put away the scroll and swung the hilt randomly, checking its condition. Well, looks like my Chaos Raijin is looking awesome as usual. What the? You're going to fight her with that hilt? Are you crazy or something? Hiyori will kill you, Shinji barked out as he looked at Naruto. You know, I really hate it when people underestimate me, and we'll see who gets their ass kicked, and by the way, shouldn't you be helping her right now? Hey, it's not like we have to kill you or anything, and you said you came for a spar, so we don't have to go all out. Is that so? Well, you'll be regretting that sooner than later, Naruto said as a yellow lightning blade started to form from the hilt and a whirlwind started to cover the lightning. Think of it as Sasuke's blade, but there is no blade, and instead lightning comes out and has a proper shape and not static like Sasuke's blade with Chidori, and the color is yellow. Think of it as fusion between Raijin and Sasuke's blade. Naruto disappears in a whirl of leaves and appears in front of Hiyori as Naruto brings down his blade. Hiyori manages to block the attack, but then Naruto smirks evilly behind his mask. You should have listened when I said my blade's name. It's called Raijin, meaning God of Thunder, and thunder means. Just then Hiyori screams in pain as tens of thousands of bolts of electricity electrocute her and he falls to one knee. Pant. Why does hell does that hurt so much? Hiyori manages to say out, trying to catch her breath. Hee. Well then, let me tell you. You see, the original sword was limited in power and was eventually broken by me and my friend, and that was back when we were young, so it wasn't much special, but when I met an amazing blacksmith, he told me he could make the sword infinitely times stronger than I was pretty tempted and agreed to it, but funny thing is the sword is as weak as it is strong. Care to explain how that? Shinji said as he was coming towards Naruto and followed by Kensai and Love. Well then, since you ask so nicely, I'll tell you. The sword reacts to chakra given to it, and the stronger the chakra is, the more stronger the sword is. So basically it's useless in the hands of someone who is weak, and the best thing is it can fight you guys because I had poured a huge amount of demon chakra into it when it was being made. Chakra? Kensai raised an eyebrow. Naruto sighed. Yeah, it's similar to the spiritual energy you guys use, and I told you that I am fighting all of you. Naruto roared and then headed towards the three Vizards, but before he could reach them, Love slammed his fist into the ground and made a crater and debris scattered. Naruto jumped back and vanished in a shunshin. Damn, that technique is really annoying, Kensai roared. Just then 3 Naruto appeared in front of them and attacked each of the Vizards, but the Vizards managed to block the attacks. And when they countered, they took out the clones of Naruto. Alright, now then, since we have 3 days of training, let's not waste any time. Naruto was about 10 meters away from them, and having completed his hand signs, he got into position for his Jutsu. Fire style. Fire Dragon Bomb Jutsu. Jets of flames came rushing towards the Vizards, but they easily got out of the way, and Shinji quickly picked up Hiyori, who was still paralyzed, out of the way of the attack. But just as the flames hit the area they were standing on, the flames exploded and covered a large amount of area in fire. Well, I guess he doesn't call it Dragon Bomb for nothing. Man, this is going to be really annoying, Shinji sighed. You really are a lazy person, aren't you? 3 same voices said in unison. When Shinji, Kensai and Love looked around, they were in for a shock. There was only one thought on their minds, and that was, damn you, Kazuki. The 3 Naruto had surrounded the Vizards in a triangle formation and had already finished their hand signs and began their attack simultaneously. Fire style. Great Fireball Jutsu. Water style. Twin Water Dragon Jutsu. Wind style. Great Hurricane Scythe Jutsu. From one of the direction came a massive fireball the size of a giant fire truck. From another direction came 2 giant water dragons roaring at them, and from the last direction came a supersized hurricane. Now how would the Vizards deal with this? Blow it away, Tachikaze. Kensai's sword changed into a small army-style dagger. As he turned towards the giant fireball, he used his dagger and used a wind-based attack to cut the fireball in the way. Crush down Tengumaru. Love's sword changed into a giant spiked club, and he swung his sword to crush the water dragons. Sokatsui Blue Fire. Crash down, Shinji said as he fired a blue energy wave at the wind hurricane and stopped it from reaching them. Damn, those attacks were intense. I could practically feel the ridiculous amount of energy in them, Kensai said, in surprise visible in his voice. Looks like if we don't take him seriously, this kid will definitely kick our asses, Love said in agreement. You really do like giving opportunities to your opponents, don't you? 3 Naruto appeared behind each of them. When the Vizards turned to counter, but no time to counter. Rasengan. The 3 Vizards were sent flying backwards, and Shinji dropped Hiyori while in midair. Shit. But just as Hiyori could hit the ground, she was caught by Naruto and placed softly on the ground. Hey guys, you need some hell? What the hell? What happened? Lisa came with Mashiro, Rose and Hachi. That guy happened. He is dead strong, and what's worse is that he has far too many techniques, Love said as he got up from his position. What the? I sensed captain-level spiritual energy, but why did guys have to use your Shikai? Lisa quickly questioned. Simple, that guy is strong and he doesn't screw around, and damn, that last attack was a pain in the ass, Love said as he reached for his gut and examined where it had hit. Looks like you guys decided to play too, so should we continue? Naruto said from afar, catching their attention. Alright, let's me fight him and see what he's got, Lisa said and headed towards Naruto with her sword in hand. Oh, let me fight crazy guy too. Mashiro joined the fray and followed Lisa. Well then, just because your women don't think I'll hold back because you two are not my type, Naruto said mockingly. What did say, punk? That's it, you are officially dead, Lisa growled in anger and headed towards Naruto, and Mashiro just followed. As Lisa attacked Naruto, he easily defended with his sword, and when Lisa came with a flying head kick, Naruto easily countered with a kick of his own while making a small crater under his feet. Naruto quickly pushed Mashiro back with greater strength using chakra and quickly channeled his chakra to his sword more and electrocuting Lisa. Lisa roared in pain, and Kensai quickly PO'd towards Naruto with an attack to cut his neck, but ducked and punched Kensai in the gut with his free hand and sent him falling back. How the hell is this guy so strong? Hiyori roared in anger as she came back for a fight. Simple, actually. You guys trained all your lives to become strong enough to protect yourselves, while I trained to become the strongest there is, but that reason later on changed. Naruto said the last part in a rather sad voice. What do you mean change? Kensai asked as he quickly got on his feet. Naruto was silent for a moment but still answered, That reason changed, and for 3.5 years I had to train to defeat someone who was aiming to become a god, and yet he still had powers no other person had in my world. I had to go through so much pain and stress to get stronger, that I'm sure it would have made any other person either insane or crippled. This surprised all the Vizards. What kind of training would you have to do to fight a person who is aiming to become god? They didn't know the answer but still got the hint that it wasn't easy. Well, now why are we wasting time here? It's time for me to kick all your asses, Naruto said, and launched himself towards the Vizards. There was only one thought going through all their heads: Kazuki, I am so going to kick your ass for putting me up against this guy. Time skip 3 days had passed and Naruto had gotten plenty of training from the Vizards, and he had learned how Shinigami usually fight and had gotten tips about how to deal with certain types. Well, it was safe to say that it was the hellish 3 days with the devil for the Vizards. Naruto had been relentless and used far too many tricks and techniques for the Vizards to handle, and even forcing some of the Vizards to use their masks while the others were forced to use their shikai against certain attacks. Some of special moments in the fight contained Naruto using Waijutsu on Shinji, Love and Rose, and while they were flying through the air with nosebleeds, Naruto used Rasengan on them simultaneously and crashing them to the ground while he Uzumaki barraged Kensai, and the best on of all would be the Genjutsu Naruto used on Lisa and Hiyori. Flashback: you know, you two really should take a break. I still have one more day of training and you will have plenty of time to try and kick my ass. Pant. Pant. Damn you, stamina freak. I'm not going to stop till I kick your ass, Hiyori said in a tired voice. She's right. We will not stop till we knock you out, Lisa added with exhaustion evident on her face. Yeah, you guys have been saying that for almost 2 days now, so for the last time we'll take a break, or do I have to make you? Never, answered both in unison. Huh, alright, but remember you made me use this. Naruto sighed and quickly used a genjutsu. Lisa and Hiyori then slowly fell asleep on the ground, but the interesting thing was the nosebleeds they had while sleeping. Later Shinji and Kensai came up beside Naruto. Damn, did you knock them out? And did you have to break their noses? Shinji asked. Actually, I just used an illusion on them and they fell asleep. Seriously? You can even use illusions? Wait, then why do they have nosebleeds? Kensai now asked in surprise. Simple, I used a low C rank genjutsu which makes the victim experience their most secret lust-filled dreams, and I think they're enjoying it, Naruto said in a devilish voice. Are you a devil? Both Shinji and Kensai asked in unison. Something close, Naruto answered in a playful voice. Both Vizards' sweat dropped from the answer. End flashback. Day before departure for the rescue festival day, Urahara shop. Morning, Kazuki, Naruto said while he yawned. Oh, Naruto-kun. Looks like you're awake. These past few days you haven't done much other than sleep, Kazuki said while enjoying a cup of tea. Naruto yawned. Well, there isn't much to do since I'm done training and Yoruichi is gone somewhere training some kids, and there isn't even anything interesting going on. Well, I'm sure you will get some action tomorrow. Yeah. Hey, wait, isn't today some festival going on?
Yes, there is. Did you have any plans? Hee. Let's just say that today will be pretty interesting too.
Care to explain? That's a question I won't be answering, besides don't want you spoiling the fun. What kind of fun? Naruto chuckled. Nothing much. But man, I really hope that clone of mine comes back soon and gets me my cash for the book sales. That I remember you did send a random clone before your training somewhere, so is that the reason why you sent him? For publishing your book? Yeah, I appreciate your hospitality, but I hate being dependent and need to find a place for myself. Well, what book did you write? Well, actually the first volume that my clone has probably published by now is written by my late master and godfather, and there are 3 volumes that he wrote of it, but I didn't want to stop his work, so I continued it, and well, now there are about 17 volumes and still continuing, and I'm really looking forward to writing the 18th volume. Wow, that's pretty impressive, but were they any good? Well, let's just say that my godfather and me were filthy stinking rich from it, and the people would pre-order weeks before they were released, Naruto said while rubbing the back of his head and sighed. Kazuki's sweat dropped. Well, if it's that good, you wouldn't mind giving me one of those. I want to see just what kind of books you write. Yeah, sure, but I don't have a volume except the originals, so you have to buy them from the stores. Well, I guess I have to, so what's the book called? Icha Paradise. Just then Naruto's clone arrived. Hey boss, you were right again. The books sold like wildfire in these 16 days and they want to publish more because of the demand. Hee hee, as long as there are perverts in this world my pockets will always have no problems. Well anyways, did you get some cash? Yep, a lot of it. Cool, now then to go and enjoy a festival. Festival day evening, random street in town. Hey Yoruichi, finally found ya? Naruto said in a happy and enthusiastic voice. Naruto? Was there a problem or something? Yoruichi asked in her cat form. No, not really, but I came here for that one dangerous mission favor you owe me. What do you mean? Well, it's simple. I'm helping you out with the mission to rescue Rukia in exchange for a favor in equal on size, right? Yeah. Well, turns out I actually need the favor before I help you out. What do you need help with? Well, I was wondering if you would go to the festival with me tonight. Yoruichi blinked at the answer a couple of times. So basically what you're saying is that you will go on a dangerous life-threatening mission, if I go on a date with you. Yep. Naruto quickly answered with a grin behind his mask. Silence. Is this some kind of joke? Nope, so will you come with me? Yoruichi sighed tiredly. Are you serious, Naruto? I wouldn't mind going on date if you just asked, but seriously you're wasting a big favor for a simple date. Actually, I wouldn't mind going on at least 10 missions for a date with someone like you, but I'm pretty lucky I just have to go on one. Are you serious? What, someone like me? Yep, you're beautiful, strong, honest, fun, and most of all you don't pretend to be someone else. That's what makes you a great person. Yoruichi couldn't believe the blunt statement and how good Naruto had pulled it off, and more, she could almost feel Naruto's goofy grin behind his mask. Yoruichi got a small hint of red on her cat face, but luckily for her no one could notice it. So, how about I pick you up at 7 in front of Kazuki's shop? You're going somewhere? Yeah, gotta go do some shopping. See ya. Naruto disappeared in a puff of smoke, and Yoruichi couldn't help but smile while she went towards her destination. Kazuki's shop. That's odd, Yoruichi, you never stay in your human form in here. Is there something wrong? Yoruichi sighed and sipped on her cup of tea before she answered. Not really, but I figured it would be better if I went in my true form for the date. Hearing this, everyone on the room froze. Kazuki was the one to break the ice. Wait, so you're going on a D-date? Yeah. Something wrong with it? Who in the world actually managed to get a date with Yoruichi in the first place? I don't know whether to respect the guy or pity him, because if he pisses her off, Yoruichi would kill him before he knows it. Well, I wish him luck, but still the question is who asked her out? Was it Naruto? Somewhere around Karakura town a certain ninja sneezed. Someone must be talking about me. I hope it's something good about me, the ninja said and continued with his shopping. You no just. Good luck. Alright, 30 minutes later. Naruto entered the living room with lots of shopping bags in hand and walked over to Kazuki and Yoruichi. Hey there. Hope I'm not late. No, actually it's not even 7 yet, so did you do your shopping? Okay, I guess, and I got you something. Yoruichi now curious. What is it? Naruto opened one of the shopping bags and took out to be a beautiful and elegant yukata. This had an elegant traditional design with golden and purple color. Yoruichi was actually surprised at the dress. It was definitely a great-looking yukata, and it seemed Naruto had good tastes. Why the yukata? Well, I told you that we're going to the festival, so when there are festivals there are yukata, and I wanted to see you in one too. Yoruichi blushed a little at the comment, but luckily no one noticed it. That yukata looks pretty expensive, Naruto. Where did you get the cash anyway? Guess my book got some good sales, so money was no problem, and I told the store to give me the best of the best. Yoruichi smirked at Naruto. Well, since you're being so nice and generous, then you wouldn't mind if we go shopping sometime? Of course, my treat. Kazuki and Yoruichi both got surprised by Naruto's quick response, but more at how he was ready to spend his money. Either he was really stupid or he had lots of money to burn. Wait, you never asked my size. Naruto smirked behind his mask. He got near Yoruichi's ear and whispered something into her ear. Yoruichi then got a dumbfounded look on her face. Naruto simply chuckled at her. How did you know? Well, let's just say that my godfather taught me more than just simple ninja stuff and leave it at that. Well, anyways, I also got yukatas for everyone else and some stuff, and I found a great view to see the fireworks. Oh, Naruto-kun, first of all, I never thought you would ask Yoruichi out for a date, and secondly, why are you asking us to tag along on your date? Kazuki asked, now joining the conversation. Well then, first of all, I wasn't known as the most unpredictable ninja back in my village for nothing, and secondly, the festival is pretty good this year and has lots of stuff too from what I heard from the locals. Anyways, we can go together and later split up there. Besides, this year's festival is going to be pretty special. What makes you say that? Oh, just call it instinct. Well, you wouldn't want to miss it, Naruto said in a playful voice. Okay then, all you guys get dressed and let's enjoy the festival, Yoruichi said as she grabbed her stuff Naruto had gotten for her and got into one of the rooms. And everyone got into respective rooms and changed their clothes. Festival, everyone had changed to their yukata which Naruto had bought for them and walked towards the festival, which was being held near a shrine in the local neighborhood. Naruto was wearing a black yukata, while Kazuki and Tessai were wearing green and blue, and the kids Jinta and Ururu were wearing white and pink. You were right, Naruto-kun. This year's festival is better than last year's, Kazuki said as he was secretly eyeing the beautiful women in the festival, but luckily for him no one noticed much. Okay guys, since all of us are ready, then let's split up, Naruto said as he grabbed Yoruichi's hand, much to her surprise, and pointed towards the direction they would be heading towards. Everyone nodded and departed as Kazuki and Tessai headed in some direction. Jinta and Ururu went their own way, and that left Naruto and Yoruichi. So where do we start, Naruto? Let's see, how about we get something to eat and then check out the games? I like where you're headed, so what do you want to eat first? Yoruichi smirked as she looked at the food stands. Well, I would go for ramen, but let's get some takoyaki first? Alright then, let's go. Naruto and Yoruichi's date continued pretty well, going to some stalls, getting snacks, trying out some game booths, and all in all it was considered to be the perfect date. Okay, just a little time till the fireworks, Naruto said as he took Yoruichi's hand and headed towards a direction. Hey Naruto, where are we going? Oh right. I found this great place to see the fireworks, so let's get there before the fireworks start. Yoruichi nodded and they went to their destination, and as they get there, she noticed she was a nice bench and no one was around the area, and the place was covered with trees while a gentle breeze was blowing. How did you find this place? And how come there aren't any people here? I'm pretty sure couples would have definitely found this place. Naruto laughed a little. Well, you see, I found this place in the afternoon when I was looking around, and this place looked like the best spot to see the fireworks, but I kinda knew other people would find it, so I put an illusion on it so no one would find it. Yoruichi's sweat dropped at the casualness of it all. Looks like you never failed to surprise me, Naruto. So can do illusions too, huh? What else can you do? Naruto smirked at her question. Well, lots of things actually, and somewhat of a balanced type of guy, and you're about to see one of the things I can do in 5 seconds. Huh, what do you mean? 3, 2, 1, as Naruto said, fireworks started in the sky and it was an extremely beautiful sight. There were huge fireworks of different colors and designs. Wow, those are some pretty nice fireworks, Naruto chuckled. Well, my favorite one is about to come up just about now. As Naruto said, a big fire rocket flied to the sky and exploded in a crimson color and took the shape of a mighty fox. A fox? Did you make that, Naruto? Yeah, I did. I had to pay the fireworks guy a lot to make that one real fast. He didn't want to at first, but when I slapped him silly with a wad cash, he was more than happy to make it. Yoruichi's sweat dropped again at how the brunette did the craziest things and acted so casual with it. You know, Naruto, you're a pretty strange guy, but in a good way. Naruto chuckled. Well, you're not the one to talk about strange, cat lady. Yoruichi pouted at the comment. Hey, it's not my fault, my clothes disappear when I transform. Well, anyways, let's call it a night. We have a mission to do tomorrow. Say, Naruto, why don't you ever show your face? Naruto got a sad look on his face, but thanks to his mask it was hidden. Don't know myself, but it makes me feel comfortable some way. You don't have to wear it all the time, you should let people see your face sometimes. I don't want to, it's just I don't want to get close to anyone anymore. Yoruichi got a sad look on her face. She kinda felt bad for Naruto, and it made want to help him out. This guy, why does he keep everything locked up inside? I know whenever we talk, when we fought, he was keeping lots of things hidden and he kept on switching personas at times. Just how much have you suffered, Naruto? And why won't you say anything? If you didn't want to get close to anyone, then why are you friendly to everyone you meet? Why did you accept to help us? even though you weren't even involved, and even if you say that you did it for a favor in return, I think that was just an excuse too.
Naruto chuckled softly. Pretty, strong, smart, and reads me like a book. Man, if any of my senseis ever saw me now, they would be laughing their asses off. I don't want to get close to anyone because in my own world I lost everyone I ever care for. Naruto's face hardens and Yoruichi could tell this wasn't easy for him to say.
I fought and trained like crazy so I could protect them because my life was miserable before I met them and they were the ones that acknowledged my existence, but I was weak and one by one they all died. Yoruichi's eyes from the surprise. Just what happened? Wherever I go I can only bring pain and suffering, and I don't think it's right for me to be with anyone. It's better if I left. Yoruichi looked at him for a few seconds and then blam. Naruto gets slapped in the face. You really are an idiot. Just because you couldn't protect them doesn't mean you killed them or brought their deaths. Did they ever tell you it was your fault? Did anyone blame you for their deaths? Then why the hell would you want to be left alone after you went through such pain? In fact, you need people around you to help you out. Naruto, you're a nice person and you need friends, and people need a good person like you around, so you shouldn't be alone. Naruto simply looks down towards his feet. Tell me honestly, Naruto, will you be able to go through life alone? Memories of his time back in his village start flooding in, of back when he was a kid, the loneliness, the pain, it was unbearable. Naruto looks Yoruichi straight in the eye. Golden eyes meet and, no Yoruichi, I don't think I'll ever be able to get used to being alone. Then turn away loneliness. With friends. So, Yoruichi starts tapping her foot impatiently for Naruto's response. Naruto simply sighs and then lets out a chuckle. Okay Yoruichi, I guess I can show you my face, but I won't be showing my face to anyone who I don't trust as a friend. Deal? Deal. Naruto then brings up his left hand and starts taking off his mask. When he takes it out, Yoruichi finally could see his true face, from the top till bottom. He had wild, spiky, gravity-defying raven black hair with blood-red tips. He had sharp golden eyes. He had 3 whisker marks on each his cheek. And all in all he looked pretty handsome. He gave off a predatory look that gave off a sense of power and superiority. What the? Whiskers? Seriously, it's like a cat's whiskers. Yoruichi got excited and started touching Naruto's whiskers, and to her surprise, Naruto actually gave her a feral grin and showed his teeth, which looked sharp. Actually, it's more like a fox, but I'm glad you like it. You know, you really are a strange guy, Naruto. Naruto simply grinned again. Well, at least you like me for it. Yoruichi blushed lightly at the brunette, but this time Naruto noticed it. Hee. Looks like you still have some of that innocent little girl left in you. Pretty cute actually. Yoruichi pouted. Hey, who are you calling little girl? You emo fox kid? Naruto laughed. Never in all my life I thought that someone would call me an emo, but thanks a lot Yoruichi. If it wasn't for you I would have been stuck with that stupid idea for quite a while, and thanks a million for being my friend. It means a lot to me, and I make a new promise to you that this time I'll definitely protect my friends, believe it. Yoruichi simply chuckled and Naruto nodded. Well, I'll hold you to that promise. Sure. And should we head back right now, because it's getting pretty late? I guess you're right. Sure, let's go, in front of Kazuki's shop. Just as Naruto and Yoruichi arrived back at shop, Yoruichi stopped a few meters from the front gate. What's wrong Yoruichi? Why the sudden stop? Hey Naruto, thanks for the date, have to say my best one yet. Yoruichi looked at him and gave a feral smile. Although this might be my real first date too, well still it was pretty great. Glad you enjoyed it. Just as Naruto finished, Yoruichi moved closer and their faces got near, and as their noses almost touched, Yoruichi moved her lips to the side of Naruto's face. She pulled down the mask and gave him a kiss on the cheek. Naruto wasn't ready for that one, and all he could do was blink several times. As Yoruichi kissed him, she quickly pulled his mask back up and moved away. Yoruichi winked at Naruto and gave a feral feline smile. Keep going like this and I might kiss you next time, she said, and went off inside the shop. Inside Kazuki's shop, Naruto was sitting in the living room with Kazuki, who had returned earlier and was now drinking tea, but couldn't help but notice the stunned Naruto sitting near him and hadn't even touched his tea. Naruto-kun, did something happen? You look rather pale. Naruto finally snapping out and looked at Kazuki and nervously laughed. Well, judging by the looks of things, you had a good time, considering that fact that you don't have a scratch on you. Well anyways, I suggest you get some rest for tomorrow's mission. Naruto simply nodded and went towards his room. Next day, Naruto woke up to the alarm. It was 9 a.m. and he had an hour for everyone to gather up. Alright. Time to get up, get a shower, get some breakfast and kick some ass. And okay, so there you have it. I'm sorry if the fight wasn't so great, but I was freakishly tired and haven't done my assignments, so decided not to go into too much detail, and well, there you have that. I also started the romance with Yoruichi, and as you can see, no hormones, just plain old nice guy Naruto, and realistic for anime or from my point of view relationship start. Well, hope you guys liked it and look forward for some surprising events in the next 2 chapters. Also a little teaser for you guys to look forward to. Teaser village hidden in the leaves. Why am I here? I don't understand. Why don't I remember what I was doing, but more importantly, why is it that the village is empty? Naruto walked around the streets of Konoha, and as he looked everywhere he couldn't find anyone. Damn it. Why am I here in the first place? Maybe I can find some answers in the Hokage mansion. Naruto sprinted towards the Hokage mansion, and when he entered there he began feeling a presence. Why do I feel like there is something so freaking dangerous here that I might faint just from looking at it, and why the hell is my heart so afraid? Damn it, I feel like I'm some stupid little animal walking straight into a hungry monster's den. As Naruto reached the front door of the Hokage's office, he knew that there was something inside there, and he knew that thing was evil. Damn it all. Forget this shit, I'm going to see what is inside here. As he opened the door, the figure sitting in front of him in the Hokage's chair probably surprised him more than anything in the world. The end. Now we will see you in the next video.